Don't come a pink one.
Pink one. What are you, a girl? What are you, a lady?
It's a great color, man.
Who are you trying to justify this to?
I'm trying to tell all the alpha males watching this beginning part.
No one watches us.
Pink is a manly color.
It's a lie. We're all dead.
Hello and welcome to this episode of Trash Taste. I'm your host for today, Garnt, and once again joining me are the boys.
Play the
Now.
80s intro.
Playing now. Allie intro.
Is pink a manly color? I guess we're starting on that fucking topic.
Why? Why is this the topic?
This is the AI generated topic
Yes.
that
Oh
we
my God.
started
Yes
for the week.
is the answer.
Yes, hello AI generated.
Yes is the
companion.
AI
Hold on,
answer,
hold on. No,
and
I'm
I will
gonna-
tell you exactly why that is the case.
I'm Googling best podcast topics right now. Let's see what comes up. Best podcast topics.
Well, we should do an episode where it's completely AI generated, actually, because I was actually having a play with a ChatGPT the other day.
Yeah.
Which is like the newest kind of like AI I don't know if it's open source, but it's like available to the public.
Right.
Yeah.
And it's basically by OpenAI, which is a company that was founded by Elon Musk. So,
The megalomaniac himself did it again.
the real life Batman villain, Elon Musk.
Yeah.
It is scarily good. It is actually kind of terrifying. And
Well, when you say that, I think back to it and I think about all the videos I've watched where there's Skyrim NPC behavior. I think, are we really that hard to emulate? I don't think we're that hard to emulate being human. We're pretty fucking
Speak
dumb.
for yourself.
As a high IQ person,
yeah.
life is meaningless. I mean, like,
As a Rick and
is it
Morty
hard
fan.
to seem somewhat human if you feed it enough books and shit?
Well,
don't know.
I
Well,
don't know.
isn't that the whole point of like the Turing test?
Yeah,
I
yeah.
don't know.
Like, well, I mean, we're all like.
Also, by the way, I would like to talk about kids programming as well. Completely unrelated to my Google search.
Wait, what?
That was one of the recommended topics for a podcast. Kids programming.
Kids programming.
I just think the absolute fucking state of kids programming is
Please,
an abomination.
please indulge us in what
I'm sorry.
the state of kids
I don't
programming.
watch YouTube Kids, actually. Thank you very much.
I get pissed off on YouTube when it tells me it's for kids, and I'm like, this is clearly not for kids.
Was
As
that?
if I'm trying
Hold
to
on.
justify it to myself.
Was that? Hold on. Pause. Was that really the top?
Oh, that was one of
podca-
them. Yeah. So here's what they recommended talking
No,
about.
I know the top podcast.
What?
Q&A.
theme. Is
What?
Fortnite actually overrated?
So
Let's discuss.
Let us discuss.
podcast topic ideas
Yeah,
are
go on.
Q&A. So we should do that. We should
questions
you should-
and
You should
answers?
ask me a question. and
Yeah.
answer.
Okay.
And I'll ask you a question.
Sure.
Hopefully you'll answer.
Our entire podcast is a question.
Yeah,
and
isn't
answer.
that?
Paranormal.
Do you have good
We've
taste
done
in
that.
food? No.
We've
No.
done paranormal.
We've done paranormal.
True
Yeah.
crime. We spoke about that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Personal finance. I'm not good at it.
Personal finance. Oh, what a riveting topic.
We should do this one. Guided meditations. I think we should do that.
What do you mean?
Like, we should guide the viewers how to meditate.
do you meditate?
Fuck no. Like, I don't have to be a singer to judge singing, right?
As probably the only person here that has actually meditated,
Yeah.
it's not that hard. just
kids,
sit in it. You
kids programming, time specific, and finally, event planning.
event planning.
Event planning.
That sounds like a
heckin'
job.
love event planning, guys.
I heckin' love planning events.
I just want to plan events. Like birthday parties.
I feel like that list
Funerals,
was
you tell
put
me.
together by someone who's never done or watched a podcast.
Again, so that was probably written by a human being.
that was
Yeah.
probably
And-
written by AI.
And like the AI would probably make more interesting AI topics.
Right.
You know what I
Probably.
mean?
Yeah.
So is it really that hard to emulate human beings?
I don't know. I guess
Question.
we'll test it out on a
Hopefully you'll give me an
future.
answer. Yeah.
I guess we'll test it out on a future episode. But no, like I was playing around with ChatGPT.
Yeah.
And like I think the people because our entire fucking lives are now run by AI, simply because I started looking into ChatGPT. Now my entire recommended on YouTube is all
my
ChatGPT,
God.
just because that's what YouTube thinks that
AI
the
is
human,
recommending you
wants to
AI.
watch. Yeah, and it's actually like terrifying for, I think, programmers right now, software engineers. Like the amount, like ChatGPT as a resource, not just like it's kind of like an all-encompassing AI. You can ask it like scarily like human questions, and it will like literally type out an entire essay. It can do your homework for you.
Yeah.
If you type out like the right prompts and everything like that. I tested it out. and I typed in, can you write a Gigux style review of Full Metal Alchemist, right? And that is around 10 minutes long, right?
Right.
And at first, the first iteration, it types it out, and it's like a kind of like generic review.
Sure.
And then I was like, oh, try adding like a few jokes here and there. Try referring to this. Try referring to that. This actually fucking freaked me out, right? Because it started adding jokes. You know, like if you're familiar with my content, sometimes I do like little skits where like some guy shouts in the background and stuff like that. ChatGPT added that to the script. I was like, what the actual fuck? This is my job is done. My job is actually done. Like it's this. If an AI can like take my style of videos and emulate it in the most basic sense now, what's it gonna be like fucking 5-10 years in the future?
Because I also did the same thing. I think the video should be out by now, but like I decided to do a shitpost video on my second channel where I did a Chainsaw Man anime review, but the entire script is written by AI.
Yeah.
But like I didn't use the one you used. I used a couple of the other like kind of free to use open. I guess they're open source.
Did you pay for ChatGPT?
ones.
No, it's completely free.
A lot of them.
The amount of stuff I was seeing online, I was like, this got to be free.
Yeah.
No, a lot of them though, you have to pay like a monthly subscription to use like
Who
unlimited.
the fuck using AI that much?
I don't know, but like the ones that I chose to use were like kind of like the first like couple of thousand words were like free to use as like a test kind of thing, and then if you wanted to use like unlimited words for however long, it's like $5 a month or some shit like that. And I'm like first of all, I'm not paying for a subscription service for an AI. Like fuck that. So I just like use the limit for the free to use to just be like, all I did was just like Chainsaw Man anime review. Yeah. And then put in a couple of like character things. And like, it clearly didn't know what Chainsaw Man was.
They probably thought it was a man who was a chainsaw.
Yeah, because it tried to write like a synopsis for it, and it was like, Jeff is a man who owns a chainsaw shop, and he comes home one day to kill his wife, and he becomes the Chainsaw Man. But I just
I like
Chainsaw Man.
yeah, but I was like, I thought that was really funny, so I just completely left it as is, and then I just read the script verbatim in like my style. I don't know how it's turned out because it hasn't come out as this video comes out, but it was really funny because like, man, I thought I was like contrarian and harsh on anime. Yeah. This AI had no chill. It was just like, yes, the animation was kind of subpar, but the fighting scenes were kind of good. But overall, the story was very forgettable and bland. I was like, damn, AI, chill. Holy crap.
You should give ChatGPT a try because it's got it like writes things to a point where you could literally take this. Like if we had ChatGPT when I was in high school, I was never doing any fucking I would not be doing any fucking homework. It literally gets to a point where you could ask it to write, you could literally say, write a Python script that does this, and like it understands what your request is, and then it will output entire codes.
That's scary.
Of like, like C++ programming, Python, whatever the fuck you want. Or you can ask it to write you a video script about X or Y. And then you can like ask it to iterate upon itself to be like, okay, take this script and add a little bit of humor, add a little bit of this, maybe expand on this section. And it's an amazing resource, but at the same time, it's fucking terrifying.
Dude, teachers and professors must be fucking sweating now because you remember like
I'm fucking sweating now, man.
Well, because like remember like when we were in college and like high school and stuff, like the biggest thing we had to worry about was like, don't take citations from Wikipedia. Yeah. Like, but now it's just like, don't get a fucking super, like hardworking AI to basically do your work for you. Because like, there must be measures nowadays, right? Because like this thing is so openly available to like students now, and it's like a lot more well known. It's probably only going to be more well known from here on out. It's like, how are they going to figure out a way to like make sure you're not just using this AI, right? Like they probably have to find something, right?
You build an AI to detect the AI. That's the only way I can like imagine.
That's currently how they do it.
Yeah.
Like, for deep fakes, that's how they distinguish. They make an AI.
We use the AI to kill the AI.
It's just modern day weapons, right? Yeah. When you make a tank that can withstand bullets, then you add rockets.
Do you have a strong AI? We're gonna make a stronger AI.
It's just always gonna be this cat and mouse game.
Holy shit! That's
which one's
so funny.
better? Like,
but like what's incredible to me is like, when in school we learn about like, history and like, the Industrial Revolution and how all like the workers kind of like revolted. and like protested when they were getting replaced by machines.
Yeah.
And you sit there as a kid being like, ha, dumb history, that'll never happen. And we're literally like seeing it happen right fucking now.
Yeah.
It's actually insane.
Well, the more that we become like NPCs, the more the NPCs become like humans, right? Have you not noticed the explosion of NPC humor online? Have you noticed
I
this?
have noticed that, yes.
Have you noticed this?
Yes.
Have you heard of this
I've not
before?
noticed an explosion of NPC humor. It's something that's just existed since
Yeah, but
the
it's so big
history
now,
of
online.
Skyrim, right?
Yeah.
Surely.
But
right?
it's like more so like people behaving like NPCs, and like TikTok has just made it like explode. It's so easy to get like
It's
6
just
second-
America, right? That's,
Well, yeah, pretty much all of America, right? Like that's just clearly right. We're
Yeah.
generalizing the entire America, right? That's how it is. But like,
yeah,
you
we
know,
can go back to that.
it's interesting. It's interesting.
Yeah, it's that
Yeah.
whole thing of like the "we live in a simulation" meme just kind of coming back, right? It's like
Yeah.
I've seen
The simulation is failing right now.
Yeah, I've seen so many memes like that, just like on meme pages and like TikTok and stuff like that. Of like, it's like, no, we don't live in a simulation, and it's like, oh really? Have you ever seen your neighbor bring in the groceries? And it's like, it's like,
That's pretty good. Actually.
it's like the more you think about it, it's like, oh my god, what the fuck? I just love those memes. It's like, and they're just like coming back from like these like meme channels. It's just
That's
like
pretty good. That's pretty good.
It's really good.
That's
It's like,
that's just the next level of hits blunt meme, you know?
I don't think I've ever seen my neighbors bring in the
groceries.
I
right?
don't think
it's like, when do they do it?
Maybe I'm the neighbor.
Yeah.
I've never
It
brought
just
anything, so I'm
spawns in
always
their
getting Uber Eats.
fridge, obviously.
Well, to be fair, I don't bring the fucking groceries back because I just Uber Eats all the time now. So that might be another big reason as well.
Yeah,
Who
the
knows?
neighbors are probably thinking the same thing about you,
Yeah,
right?
yeah.
It's like, what the fuck?
It's like,
I just love it. It's so funny.
yeah, but like it's weird because I think a lot of people thought that the last job that would be taken over is kind of like the creative job, right? We all thought we all thought that there'd be a point where computers can get smart to do a lot of like the specialist jobs that we have to study for and stuff like that. But creative jobs, art, music, that can never be replicated. And it's weird seeing the kind of like the AI art kind of like,
Well,
Are we going down that rabbit hole?
and like controversy like happened within the last few months, if anything.
I mean, a
right?
lot of things are automated now physically, but obviously, when you think about it, like still, you have to build a fucking robot.
Yeah.
You
Right.
have to build something and test it. But when you can just run code over and over again and keep tweaking it and keep running it on these supercomputers, it doesn't require you to build anything. It's like, okay, well, yeah, it makes way more sense that this stuff can be replicated. And something especially like music, is anyone really surprised that AI was able to replicate music? Like, when you think about it, it's not that complicated.
It's well,
this is
this is coming from the guy who doesn't make music, by the way.
From the beeps and boops, to me, it's not that complicated.
Oh my god! Now I know how the like artists feel when the AI art came out. I'm offended.
No. Okay, am I saying? Okay, listen. That is a general sweeping statement. Am I saying that AI music sounds indistinguishable? No. But can it make something that sounds pretty much like normal music or very passable music? Yeah, of course. It's not gonna make a fucking symphony that sounds amazing.
No, of course.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it might. I don't know.
And- and
Yes.
like- and-
but you know what I mean? Like,
Yeah.
is anyone really surprised that given the tools that we had to make music digitally anyway, that it
Right.
would be able to figure out, oh, hey, if we just feed it a fuck ton of information, this is what music looks like to a robot. This is what it sounds like. Hey, give it a shot. Of course, it's gonna be able to make something that sounds like music.
But that's the thing, right? And I feel that's like a can of worms that like a lot of people try and skip around the conversation with of like that, because like when that whole AI art programming came out, and it's been coming out for a while, but like about a month or so ago, like there was that one AI art program that like everyone on Twitter was using because it was like, oh, this is really fucking cool.
you had to pay
right?
money for as well. What a fucking scam.
Right, but it's like I did it because I did it for a video because I thought oh, what kind of fucked up creations can this AI make of me, right? And it was funny and for entertaining purposes. But then obviously I got a lot of like backlash from like the art community of being like, oh, so you're not going to commission real artists, but then you're going to get art from AI art that steals other artists' work. And I'm just like, I hate that argument because it's like, other human artists steal from other human artists as well.
Well, that's tough, right?
Okay, it's a tough conversation to have, right? Because that's a fact that people don't want to admit. It's
a tough conversation.
It's a tough conversation.
We're going into uncharted territory
about morals
right now.
with artwork and
of
stuff.
course,
Yeah,
AI has literally. It's a tool so powerful that we've had to rethink what is morally right.
Right.
So the AI training itself, that's building a tool that can train itself. That's incredible, right? The fact that there's an AI can train itself to emulate a lot of human art and art made by real people, to the point where a lot of it can almost seem indistinguishable to a normal person that doesn't understand art.
Of course.
Now, morally, being able to train that AI using
Pre-existing
artwork, which people have spent years and years perfecting and honing their skills, only to be added to a database to help train this AI in order to basically make a lot of their work obsolete. Is that morally correct? That's something that we've not really had to think about yet, because I don't know what kind of press. I don't know when in history we've had. I'm sure there is something similar in history that's not going through my head right now, but it's a complicated question.
Yeah,
where we've just it's something we've morally not had to think about, but we now have to think about it just because this one tool is so powerful.
Yeah, and I feel it's a difficult conversation to have as well, because it's very much, morally speaking, in my opinion, it's very much in a gray zone, right? It's there are benefits to this kind of technology, expanding and stuff like that in the art world, but as well, you don't have to be an artist to know that there are also some demerits to it, right?
Out of curiosity, what benefits do you think there is from having AI art as opposed to
a lot of the kind of backlash, or I guess opinions that I saw about the whole AI art program coming out from actual artists, is that in the art world, it's very much like a lopsided kind of argument of a lot of people look at it and go, this is a program that is stealing other people's art and, passing it off as art. But then there are also a lot of artists who look at programs like this and go, well, okay, but at this point in time, there is still very much a limit, like a machine limit of just how it can be when it comes to creativity.
Right now, though. So
right now.
The big problem is that you're kind of essentially, it's a lot of people are like, it's not good enough now, but it's like, okay, but you're building, you're assembling the rope to hang yourself with. In a sense, right? Because and even to begin with, it's not even like they're being paid or they're being compensated for this artwork being used. It's that I think the main issue is that people just haven't consented to their artwork being used to essentially emulate their own art style.
Okay.
And I'm against that personally as well, of course,
So I suppose the audience got pissed off because by buying it or using it, even though you're not using it for maybe nefarious purposes, by using their services, you're sort of kind of condoning it. They're doing. And I think that's the problem.
It's probably because there's been such a shift within just these past few months, right? Because at the beginning of last year, AI was just like, haha, look at all these funny things that computers and AIs can do. I search my name and it does this. And now it's getting to the point where, this can possibly take people's livelihoods and jobs. And now we have to think, what is morally acceptable in terms of how this AI has been made and how this tool has come about. Okay, it's I'll pose you a question. Okay, so let's say there's an AI that has been trained to make YouTube videos, to make anime man videos or something like that, and it gets to a point where your videos have been used to train, or your videos have been used to train. I was going to say to make videos about anime, but
that's cap.
It's been trained to make videos about Japan.
Yes,
in the style of your style.
Yeah,
but it can pump it out way more faster and way more consistently than you could ever.
And if it looks and it feels like a Joey video, then it's a big problem, right? Because they've essentially used you to replace you, and then you don't get a cut. So I think the problem is that the laws right now and the way that it all works is that this was never ever accounted for.
Yes.
You know, that someone could just use your stuff and use it as training information. Because normally, if you wanted to say, learn how to play piano like Mozart, and let's say there's video footage of it for some reason, obviously there isn't, but you could just watch it and it would be up to you to try and figure out how to do it yourself. And no one would bat an eye at that, right?
Yeah.
But so if you give that to a machine and the machine can just replicate it one for one and spit it out, it's like, okay, well, hold on. I didn't agree to that. When I published this video, I wanted people to watch it. I didn't want people to fucking just replace me with it.
But I think at the same time, it's going to, like, say, looking at it from the musical standpoint, right? Like, as someone who has been writing music my whole life, it's like, I find that as like maybe not the best way, but it is a way to kind of push the medium further in terms of its current limits, right? It's like, okay, currently AI has gotten to the point where it has gotten pretty close or even similar to what humans are capable of doing, right? But at the end of the day, the AI, at least as of right now, right, there is still very much a limit that human creativity can surpass. So I think in the sense of advancing the art medium forward, you can look at it in a positive in that way. But at the same time, as someone who has seen AI being made, or music being made by AI, it is also kind of terrifying. But at the same time, at the end of the day, with any kind of like art and stuff like that, humans, I think, are just naturally more attracted to something that is made by a human, even if it might be indistinguishable.
Of course.
People like to think that. People like to think they're smarter than they are and that they would never fall for stuff like that. But we do, right? Like it just
yes, of course.
I mean, part of
it depends on the person, obviously.
Yeah, part of the like I said, we never thought AI would like creative field would be one of the fields that AI would take over first. But I think it's just kind of blowing up the fact that, even if you think human creativity is beautiful and amazing, which, I think it is, it's still, art is still defined and based on rules and structure. We talk about, we clown on corner for like how music is easily replicatable. Like at the same way,
in a lot of ways it is.
The fact that you can study music means there is a baseline structure that can be learned and obviously can be replicated. And part of the beauty sometimes comes from breaking that structure and going your own direction.
Going against the convention.
And going against the convention. But at the same time, that is also based on the previously defined structure, So it's kind of it kind of is like taking all of the gloss off and being like, okay, this is what your creativity actually is. This is all of the things.
But I think that's why that's why I feel though this conversation is so fascinating, right? Because it makes us kind of question, okay, what is art to begin with now? Like, it does. It's like, it makes you kind of rethink, like, okay, what makes this one thing artistic and this other thing not as artistic, right?
I think with this specific controversy that happened where a lot of people got really upset about the AI art is because, I think typically online anyway, where like in the online climate right now, artists are normally undervalued anyway.
Yes.
And don't get paid maybe as much as they should. So it was kind of like the cigarette butt being put out on you when you're already down, right? It's like, okay, so I'm already struggling to get a fair price for my art, and now I have to compete with this shit that's trained off of my shit? Like, what the fuck? Like, for example, right? Another AI situation. Remember like, oh my God, even like 10 years ago, that Eve bot. That one where you could talk to it. And it would like flirt back to you.
No.
There were a lot of, it's like the AI chatbots.
You'd be like, oh, how are you doing today? And be like, I'm fine. And then you'd be like, oh, you're so beautiful. And it was like a dumb little thing that would talk back to you. Obviously, it was kind of shit. But you're like, okay, well, you think at the time, you're like,
it was like slightly upgraded Clippy, basically.
Yeah. Like, of course, you're like, this is cool. I'd love to help improve this. And then you start to, I think that we as humans are so curious and so fascinated by stuff that we're like, this is awesome. Like nobody at that time questioned whether we should get this AI better or not. Everyone was just like, fuck yeah, this is cool. Yeah, making this stuff. This is awesome. This is a little fun thing I do online with my friends and we all laugh about it.
Yeah.
And then you think, oh wait, what if it gets good enough where it can just actually scam people online, where it could DM you on Instagram and it can sound human and it can ask for your credit card or some point. It's like, what if it could have an extended conversation with you for weeks and then you could be scammed out of something and it's like, okay, Now it's like if it gets too good, because we become normalized.
I mean,
anyway.
I'd argue it's already happening.
Well, I don't know if that happens, but like, I mean, it could happen.
It could,
right?
yeah.
The point being is that like, I think it's concerning when it's already too late.
Yes.
Right? When it's already gotten to the point where it's too good, then you're like, oh, we fucked up. Because back then,
everyone's responsibility.
Because like, I'm sure this whole thing with AI art, like 5-10 years ago, we thought that's cute. That's nowhere near as good as the stuff we're making.
Yeah.
And this was the sentiment we had. And obviously now that it's catching up, everyone's kind of scared because everyone's like, where does this go?
Yeah.
Where is it going to be in 10 more years?
Yeah.
I think it was just like basic human naivety to be like, oh, this thing exists. Oh, that's cute. That's not a problem I'm gonna have to worry about in my lifetime. Let's just watch sci-fi movies about it. Isn't that so funny?
And now we are in that sci-fi zone.
There was this I don't know if it was Adobe or something. There's one presentation like, I don't know, like 2, 3, 4 years ago, where it's basically like off X amount of samples of your voice, they could pretty much perfectly replicate your voice.
I remember you telling me
that. And that was terrifying too, because like now it's like, all right, well, deep fakes, at least those are still, they're not great still. Like, I mean, you can do some really convincing ones, but to have your voice taken feels really weird. Yeah. Imagine that. I mean, like, like yours is on there on some shitty one. Doesn't sound like
I mean, it doesn't sound like
there,
but
right?
it could get there. Yeah. And it just raises a lot of like new morality questions that you realize, oh, we are definitely not prepared for
the robot apocalypse is coming.
So they're able to make a deep fake. So they can make a facial reconstruction if you can't. They could take your voice and then now they have your video ID.
They have my style of videos, right?
This is obviously only applies to us, and this is who the fuck cares if our YouTube videos get fucking copied. But it's just, I think it's no surprise that the creative aspect of the first to be kind of mimicked or copied, because it's also the average everyday person doesn't care to interact with a robot that could maybe fix a phone. They're like, I don't give a fuck about that. Right. Maybe it's cool for someone else, but I'm gonna be like, I'll go in the art. I'll give it. I'll talk to the funny robot. Yeah, why not? Why are we talking to robots? why are we humoring them? This is where the robot would be like, "You're a peasant, Connix. This is how I talk."
Human me human.
You know what I mean?
Talking to robots feels more real than talking to humans. Okay,
like, isn't it weird that we would go online and we would just fucking chat to a wall?
Right, like I saw the other day, someone had made an AI VTuber.
I saw that.
And I was just like...
It's literally just like the whole Tay thing, but just with a voice thing.
There was a clip that was going around where they mentioned me by name.
Huh?
They mentioned me by name.
Really?
And I had this clip like sent to me everywhere. And it's like, this AI VTuber mentioned you by name. And I was like, how the fuck does it know?
Joey Bissinger?
It said Joey the anime man, and I was like,
that's fucking funny.
Who are you? How do you know me?
But like, it's just seeing it, that also fucking okay. So everyone right now is at the same stage where it's just like, haha, wow, how cute, an AI VTuber. Isn't this such a nice, cute little idea? I swear to God, in like 5-10 years, maybe even sooner. Yeah. As soon as AIs can get to a point where they have an endearing personality, it's fucking over, man. Being able to say,
Japan will definitely be the first country.
we are literally in the epicenter of humanity getting wiped out by VTubers, man. Think about that.
Japan will 100% accept a VTuber AI overlord. And you know why? Because it can't get a fucking boyfriend.
I am waiting for the Niji Sanji like AI VTuber division to come out and just I'm
sorry, a VTuber idol that will never have a boyfriend, never have any controversy, Hopefully he won't say anything racist. I say hopefully because God knows what the AI is going to be trained on,
Just feed it a bunch of racist words.
But here's the thing. How do you cancel an AI? An AI is uncancelable, right? Because it can only be trained by humans. So who are the real evil? Not the pure AI. It's the fucking humans that trained it, man.
I can't believe you hurt my feelings. My real feelings. Oh my God,
That is very poggers.
That is very poggers.
Yeah. Bottom line, everyone in the creative field is fucked.
It's on 24/7.
Bottom line, everything.
Every
artists are fucked, musicians are fucked, VTubers are fucked, everyone's fucked.
You know what? If you work in some engineering or some stuff, you're pretty good. Using your hands every day, you're pretty good.
I thought programmers were safe, but now there's AI that can do programming.
Maybe we
got
to go back to the Stone Age. Maybe the only jobs that will be left is like manual labor. You know, tedious manual labor. You know,
AI can't dig a hole with a shovel, can they?
We'll just be building huts and filming that and be like, ha, fuck you, AI.
Yeah, you can't do this.
Let's see you trying to build this.
Primitive technology YouTubers are just like, my time has come.
I'll accept they've surpassed us when they can beat us at speed running video games. That's when I'll accept.
What do you mean?
When an AI can just speed run a video game on its own and do like the Cheeto skip and all that in the video game.
It can already like do that.
But all you have to do is just feed it a task.
Well,
yeah, but you have to feed it a task, right? That's like a video basically playing though.
Yeah, I guess.
When it can figure it out all on its own. That's when I'll be impressed.
When an AI can figure out a brand new like skip,
then I'm
impressed. That's when we're
fucked.
Then
I'm impressed. Then I'm like, okay. Some assault videos are going to be a lot less boring.
Out of everything that's like AIs could do, I think that might be one of the easier things that it could do. Bro, you got an AI that's running a video game 24/7.
Have you ever watched those machine learning compilations of video games? After like fucking 4 weeks, they're still dumb as fuck.
Really?
Right now, yeah.
Yeah.
You have to put a lot. The AI on its own cannot learn. Like you need to feed it. Like you need to tell it. Like, hey, you know, like if you watch videos of it, like racing a car in a video game, like you have to feed it a lot to get it even remotely good.
Yeah, but it depends how quickly it can iterate upon itself. Because
more computing power, the more it can help, I guess.
Yeah,
I don't know. I'm not an expert in this shit. All I know is that AI are bad. Joey, you should be ashamed of yourself.
Wow, I can't believe me and about 1 million other people are joining in.
You know,
on this.
it's like this.
But the problem is a lot of other people don't have comment sections.
Yeah. But also, a lot of people don't read their comment sections. So
that's true.
You know what? I'm gonna create an AI bot that gives me wholesome comments.
I'm gonna make an AI bot.
I know I'm appreciated.
I'm gonna make an AI bot that finds out exactly what porn I'm gonna jack off to that day. I'm tired of scrolling, quite frankly, and I will welcome that one. It's like, oh, BBW today. I wasn't really gonna go for that one, but maybe
I think that's just
new.
the I'm feeling lucky button on Google, isn't it?
No. I want
just a smarter version.
I want it to watch the porn I'm watching and then decide exactly what I'm into and when I'm gonna be into it,
porn
and the exact time
AI.
of day. Because I can't trust myself. Maybe I'm just doing it for the sake of it.
It pings you on your phone and be like, JO time.
It vibrates like really aggressively in your pocket to turn you on.
It's like JO time. Here's the link. Off you go.
Yeah. It is already playing on your Chromecast. Please enter the bedroom.
Yeah, I mean,
Jarvis, play BBW porn.
As you get wheeled in.
Yeah, I mean,
we're all just gonna end up like Wall-E, dude.
I'm going to hell.
We're all just gonna end up like Wall-E.
That's the one thing that's fucked up about Wall-E.
Yeah.
If you telling me there's a feeding tube but not something that's sucking my dick.
Like, you telling me I have to do that manually?
Yeah.
Fuck that.
Hey, that ain't
That's
manual
the
labor.
biggest plot hole in it. How are they jacking off? It doesn't look like it's possible.
It would have happened if Wall-E was based in Japan.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Japan is the first
But
thing.
not sucking tubes? Bullshit.
Japan's already figured that shit out before the AI did.
How do you make sure they don't get into resistance in the ship? You make sure they're jacking off.
That's how AI
starts
take
being
over.
demonetized immediately. This video is sponsored by Bokksu.
Bokksu delivers the experience of tasting authentic Japanese snacks, candies, and teas sourced directly from centuries-old small family businesses right to your door.
Every single month, they will send you a unique box filled with the best sweets that Japan has to offer.
And we are in the brand new month of January. So, of course, we have the Shinshin New Year box.
Each Bokksu is packed with snacks and it comes with a cultural booklet that tells you all about the theme, where the snacks come from, details on all the flavors, and it even teaches you a few Japanese phrases, which Joey needs.
What have we got in there?
This one I ate in my personal Bokksu, and it's very good, but Joey, tell us more about it.
This is a Kanjuku Miyazaki mango chocolate. The mangoes come from the Miyazaki prefecture.
So
They're extremely expensive, the Miyazaki mangoes, and they're absolutely delicious.
I'm annoyed that they're that
really
small.
good.
Yeah.
Why is it not like 5 times? Like the one time I want America sizes in Japan.
That's one bite is not enough.
Yeah, right?
But for those of you who love your snacks, Bokksu also offers tea pairings as well. This month there is some genmaicha with a little bit of matcha in it, so you can kind of get a sweet, bitter taste to match your mangoes.
So if you want to try some snacks with us and support our channel, click the link in the description down below and use coupon code TRASH to get $15 off your first Bokksu order.
Thank you very much to Bokksu for sponsoring us this week. Back to the episode.
I'm taking the rest of this.
Have you like, because I don't go on TikTok.
How is this very weird? How is it going from jacking off TikTok?
Yeah. Because I don't go on TikTok, but I've seen this happen to other people where they've had something on their TikTok which has popped up that has been relevant to like some very specific intrusive thought that they've never like verbalized or anything like that. But TikTok is just like, oh, here's a video about that one topic that you've thought about.
I think that's coincidence. And then when you spot it, it feels so much more real than, you know, just...
it's a mixture of coincidence and the fact that I think there are so many TikToks out there now that have just covered every possible internal like situation that could be relevant to you.
Okay.
I want an AI that tells me what my next dark thought is going to be.
I don't want that.
Do you have that meaning?
Yeah. I just think I don't, but I want it to be predictable.
Yeah.
I want to know what fucked up thing.
It's like an AI that like warns you before you have the thought. It's just like stop right now.
You know when you're just chilling and you have that one thought, and you're like, whoa, that was dark. You know, I feel, come on, I cannot be alone in this. You know what I mean?
That's just like every.
You see that on a TikTok?
No.
Now you're gonna get a TikTok to be like, I can't. Here's your next dark thought that you're gonna have.
I thought I was the only one.
I just had a conversation with a Dinus and he said something and I was like, that's fucked up. But that's cool.
That's sick.
No, because like I was because this has happened to like Sydney a few times. Where she's just like Sydney likes to bring up random stuff sometimes, and if you've hung out with Sydney, she
says the dark thoughts out loud.
She says every fucking intrusive and non-intrusive thought, whether they make sense or not.
Yeah.
So one time she was we're just like fucking watching TV or something, and then she just goes to me, "Could you survive a tsunami if you like are in a swimming pool and you swim to the bottom of the swimming pool and hold your breath?" And I'm like,
should I be offended?
And it was one of those statements.
No, just swim to the bottom, bro.
Just swim to the bottom.
The wave, just swim to the bottom of the wave.
It'll just go right over.
What do you mean, bro? Dog, just swim to the bottom.
And it was like one of those.
Fuck.
And it was one of those moments where I heard a statement and I didn't even know where to begin because I'm just like I don't think this is even worth entertaining the thought. I'm just like what? And she's like, no, I think like, has anyone ever thought about that? I'm like, Sydney. And I just left. That was like, I did not know where to begin, and I was just like,
Garnt left. He went to his computer and he started programming an AI.
And
stop.
And then I shit you not, right? I shit you not.
Yeah.
And then like 2 days later, I was like, she's lying in bed, and she goes, what the fuck? No way. And I was like, Sydney, what's going on? And she runs down to me. And she goes, watch this TikTok. And the TikTok is, here's why you wouldn't survive if you swam to the bottom of a pool during a tsunami. And I was just like, that is the creepiest shit I've ever seen in my life. And I don't know if this was like a subconscious trend that was happening during TikTok, but I have never heard anyone pose this question before.
I just like to think, just out of context, that TikTok was just one that Sydney made. Like that night.
It's an AI TikTok.
It's an AI TikTok and it's just like, check it out. I'm not the only one that's thinking this. I'm not weird, right? Please believe me.
Yeah.
I don't know, because I don't know if you've driven much. When you drive a lot and you've driven a lot of hours, and then you sit there and you have that moment where you're like, oh yeah, if I fuck this up, I die.
Yeah, I've had that.
You know, when you're just driving and you're like, oh, this is super chill, this is funny, and you do it every day.
No.
And then you're just like, oh wait, I gotta pay attention.
Yeah.
not that I'm not paying attention.
Yeah.
But you know when you just no one's ever gonna want to get in the car with me ever again.
No.
But you know what I mean? Like you're just driving and then you forget how dangerous driving is until you have that moment where you're like, oh, if I just turn, if I accidentally wasn't paying attention, I turned a little bit that way, it's over.
It's that
Isn't
moment.
that fucked up? Why do I have those thoughts?
It's a fucked up. I get those thoughts all of the time.
I saw this tweet, and it was this woman, and it was a woman standing like lying on the edge of a waterfall. Yeah. She was just kind of like.
I think I've seen that one.
Someone quote retweeted it. And it was something like, nah, the voices would get me for sure. And it had like 300,000 likes. And I was like,
The voices.
I was like, holy shit, that's so dark.
But before I say what I'm going to say,
Listen, everyone has dark thoughts, okay?
Of course they do.
I'm a safe driver, guys. I'm a safe driver.
God has driven me before.
That's
We've had a road trip together.
Yeah.
They're in one piece, okay.
Yeah.
So sometimes you're on a highway, right? And you see like oncoming traffic, right? And you're going at like 70 miles per hour. And sometimes you get this thought. Sometimes do you ever like get this thought? The thought is just like, everyone's life is in my hands right now.
No, I know.
It's like if I just
all I have to do
is all I have to do is just turn the steering wheel slightly and everyone's dead. Good thing I'm not going to do that. But what if?
I'll submit.
Vsauce music plays.
But
what if?
It's just like, oh, good thing I'm not going to do it. Good thing I'm a sane human being. But what if?
Or am I?
Everyone collectively has that thought, right? Everyone collectively is driving safe.
Of course they do.
And everyone doesn't not drive safe. Well, except for when they do.
Yeah.
Exactly.
I know it's also like when driving, sometimes especially in long stretches, I think intrusive thoughts is different from just being in kind of like getting into like this almost vegetative state where you're just so focused on the road that you forget that you're going at like 70 miles
It's just
an hour.
autopilot.
There's a phenomenon, right, where, you know, some people, if they drive back to work all the time and it's a relatively short distance, some people can forget that they even drove to work. That like they don't have the memory of driving the car because they've done it so many times and it's so automatic.
It all just blends together.
Yeah, because you just blend.
Yeah.
It's like,
Have you ever had an autopilot moment in your life where you just like
for sure.
you wake up from the Matrix and you're like, why did I do this?
Well, like you're just walking and you suddenly forget like you're walking. You don't like have that thought that you're actually controlling your walking. You know what I mean? It's
There's the moment that I'm sure everyone in the world has experienced at least once of like, you're just, you're in the living room and then you walk to your room and then you enter your room and then you just stop and you go, why did I just walk into my room?
Of course.
And then you walk out.
Everyone has that.
Everyone's had that. That is like an autopilot moment of like,
right?
my brain just pre-programmed to be like, walk to your room.
Because like I'll never forget that's like every day of my life. Like, welcome to ADHD, everyone. But like I remember like the worst time it happened, and the part that still like freaks me out is I remember this one time in university. So you go to your lecture hall every single day of your fucking life, right? And then I remember leaving my house because it was the weekend.
Yeah.
And then,
Ladies and gentlemen,
sorry. The weekend. Ladies and gentlemen, it was the weekend. And I was going to meet a few friends in the city center. So I start walking. I put on my earphones. And then the next thing I realize, I look up and I'm in front of my lecture hall. And I'm like, why the fuck did I go here? How did I walk? It was
autopilot walked to
autopilot walked to the lecture hall, and it's not a short walk. It was a 30-minute walk. Did not notice that I was walking to my lecture hall, which is the opposite direction to where I was going to meet my mates, until I was in front of the lecture hall.
Dude, if that isn't solid evidence that like fast travel exists in real life, like I don't know what is. Like, you just press the button and you just fast travel to the lecture hall.
I fast traveled to the wrong place. I'm like, I glitched out. I'm like, oh wait, I don't actually need to go.
Yeah, exactly. That is evidence. It's like, because I'm sure everyone has experienced that. I'm just like, I'm here now, but I don't remember how I got here.
Yeah, my feet just started walking, and I'm here now. Okay, that's just
the pre-programmed script just started. Right, it's just like, all right, here we go.
Bro, that's
so funky.
That's every time I walk back after like a night of drinking. Sometimes you're like, holy shit, I've had like insanely long walks after I'm like fucking pissed out of my mind.
Yeah,
I have no idea how I like get back because I could barely like form like a single step, and I'm like, so I wake up the next day and I perfectly am always home, and I always remember going into my door and getting back in, but I can never remember the journey that took me there.
Telling you, man, fast travel. It exists.
It's IRL fast travel.
IRL fast travel. It exists.
Let's to keep this like existential crisis going.
Go on.
I fell into like another weird rabbit hole the other day.
All right.
What would you do if you knew you were about to die? because
okay, what span of time are we talking? Are we talking like I'm gonna die within the year, or I'm gonna die like tomorrow?
Within like an hour.
An hour?
Yeah.
Oh shit.
Because I got into
J-O.
this. Yeah, because I got into this weird. What did you say?
J-O. I'm having the last nut before I go. Dude. I am the one who has the last laugh.
Because I got into this rabbit hole because I like this. This video was recommended to me about the Hawaiian, like kind of like the fake missile alert, right? So a while ago, like Hawaii had like a fake missile alert where everyone on their phones got an alert that said ballistic missiles are heading towards Hawaii.
Right.
Please head to shelter as soon as possible. This is not a drill. And
Damn,
of course,
that's terrifying.
It's like, imagine like the earthquake alerts that we get. It's like on that, except basically you're being told that a nuclear bomb, probably a nuclear ballistic missile bomb, is heading towards Hawaii,
right?
An island. Where the fuck are you gonna run?
Yeah.
Right? Where are you gonna run? So for about
into your swimming pool, obviously.
Yeah, so for about like 45 minutes, a lot of people believed this is the end. This is going to be the end. And like I saw that video and then I was just like so curious. So I started like reading comments and hearing stories about people who actually experienced that. Right. And it's interesting just to see people say like your fucking brain chemistry just their brain chemistry had changed after that experience, just because they had like made peace with the fact that they were going to die. And I find it interesting because, you know, in movies and everything like that, you see people portrayed as the world's coming to an end. Let's all fucking panic. Let's all go out kicking and screaming. But the reality is, so many people were just kind of like at peace with everything, like
accepting.
That. Yeah. I think
I saw that video of that guy who was just playing golf.
Oh, yeah.
I'm going to finish this hole of golf.
Yeah.
I'm going to get a PB before I go.
he like, I saw that video as well. There's a guy who just starts off the video being like, if you're seeing this video, I probably didn't make it.
Oh, wow.
And he just starts being like, you know what? I lived a good life. This is probably the end, but I'm going to finish playing this golf. I'm going to go out doing what I love.
It's such a good video.
What a chat.
What a fucking chat. I think one of the most famous stories, actually, Jim Carrey, who was in Hawaii at the time.
Oh, right.
And I saw a clip of him telling his story about it as well, where what happened was he got a call from his agent being like, this is happening. What the fuck?
Yeah.
So, you know, the first emotion you get is like panic.
Yeah.
Is there anything I can do? I got to phone my friends, got to phone my family and everything like that. So he tried calling his daughter. I don't think his daughter picked up or anything like that. But then after that initial panic's over, kind of like the acceptance kind of comes in. So then what he did was he just thought to himself, everyone's trying to get out, but then he just realized he didn't want to die in his car. Right. So he walked out to the hotel and just walked on the beach and just sat there and just thought about everything that he was thankful for in life. And I'm like, fuck, man. Jeez. That must have been an experience that you can't like, I don't know. It's what people like. I'm genuinely curious if anyone in Hawaii went through that experience. What was your experience? Because I find that what happened in Hawaii fucking fascinating, because it's kind of like a case study of like so many people believing that this one terrible thing is going to happen. This one thing you only see in like films and cinema and stuff like that. So you don't really know how people are going to react or how you're going to react. You can only just like fucking think, maybe I'll do this. Right. Maybe I'll do that. Right.
And I feel like hearing those stories as well, like, firsthand narratives is like, you know, you can hear and, you know, imagine what they were going through, but like the actual like raw emotions that they were going through is like, that's something you can't just like listen to and imagine, right? Well, like that's something that's just like, you need to have experienced that.
The amount of comments I saw that was, when I knew I was going out, I just started smoking a fat blunt, man. I was going out high as a kite, baby. And I'm like,
I was like, I am doing every drug imaginable before I go. I will not die sober.
Do you know?
I don't know. That's a good question. What would you do?
I don't know what I'd do.
Try and break every law imaginable in an hour.
Try and break every law imaginable.
Just do something. Be like, like every dark thought you have, right?
Yeah.
It's like, I'm sure there are people who are like, well, if we're gonna go in an hour, I might as well try and fulfill that morbid curiosity I've always had.
I'm gonna eat a fucking giant tortoise. That's what I'm doing. I'm going down in an hour.
I don't know if that's possible.
Okay.
I'm eating one. I don't care if it's raw.
Okay, I want to go out eating good food. And I've been thinking about, okay, I have 45 minutes to find my perfect last meal, which is available in the vicinity I'm in. What the fuck? What would I go eat?
Honestly,
McDonald's.
Honestly, I was thinking about it, and I was like,
that was for the thought I had. I was like, it's probably gonna be near me. I could probably do it. Why the fuck not?
I'm like Big Macs to go out.
One last nod for the road.
Yeah, one last nod.
But also, this is assuming that the workers are happy to keep working when the world is ending in 45. You got to clock out. No,
Do you know how many people want Big Macs right now? I gotta give it to them.
They're probably just giving it away as well.
Yeah, exactly.
But I want to know if there's anyone who fucking confessed in that 30, 45 minutes.
Oh, yeah.
There's probably someone out there.
But also, if you're dying and then if the other person's dying, does confessing help at all? Like,
I don't know, because we've never been in that situation.
But what's kind of funny to think about is like they confessed, right?
Yeah.
And then they didn't go.
They didn't.
So they basically just fucked themselves.
Can we Google if there's any stories of this happening? I'm sure there must have been people who are like, P.S. I was a piece of shit all along.
Yeah.
I shit on your porch.
It's like, P.S.
It wasn't the dog.
P.S. I banged your mom.
I want to know the wholesome
story.
story. I want to know the wholesome stories, but also I want to know what was the most wildest shit that was like that happened during that 45 minutes.
Fucked shit.
Yeah, I'm sure.
Yeah.
You tell people they only have like an hour left to live. I mean, some people already did break laws.
I'm sure. Yeah.
Imagine some people probably did and probably got in trouble for it.
Yeah. Jesus.
But they bet they pirated a movie.
You wouldn't steal a car, would you? I will when I have an hour to live. This is fucking breaking it.
Now, if I had a year to live, well, I'm starting a meth empire.
Yeah.
I'd hope one of you boys would be, my Hank to me, Walter White. I'd like to think so.
Yeah, exactly. It's like depending on that's why I was asking about the time frame, right? Because it's like, okay, if it's like an hour, right? There's only so much you can do. But like, say for example, if you were gonna die within the next, like, say a month, right? Like, I think it would be very different.
I've decided what I want to do.
What?
If I had an hour left, I would film every single hot take I have left that is unsayable out loud, and then I'll post it, and then I'll die. Pornhub traffic climbed during the Hawaii missile alert.
Of course it did. See, I'm not the only one. I'm literally not the only one. I was like, if I'm going out, I'm Jay Owen.
I'm going out.
I'm going out balls emptied.
All right. What tag do you pick as your tag to go out?
I'm trying to find some funny stories.
Oh shit, that's such a good question.
Holy shit!
I mean, I have an hour, right? I can go through every tag in that time. I'm like, there'd be a part of me that's like, I wonder if I can do it to some gay porn.
Yes.
Like I've never tried, so
maybe now's the time to like broaden my horizons.
Now's the time to broaden my horizons. So just every tag, I'm gonna give it a go. I love that.
Because the reason I fell into this rabbit hole was just like reading other people's story, because there's so many like nuances and just little things I never thought about until I read about people's experience about it. Because if I did have 30 minutes left, how the fuck would my mind go if I decided to jack off? Would I try something new, or would I put on fucking Masterpiece one last time for like a victory lap?
Masterpiece, bro. Masterpiece.
It's up to you, man. It's whatever your brain decides in that 30-minute window.
Where the fuck does your mind go during that time?
Oh my god.
I don't even know what I'd do. I'd probably be too shocked to think of anything meaningful in 1 hour. 1 hour's not a lot of time.
No.
You'd probably just go back to
it's half a Trash Taste episode.
Right? I mean, we've already talked for an hour.
You can't even finish a fucking Trash Taste episode. You know what I mean? Like, You're like, oh, I have 1 hour to live. I can't wait to watch my favorite trash episode. Why is it 2 hours?
No, you can watch it 2 times speed.
Yeah, just watch it 2 times speed. All right, I got it.
Perfect.
Mom,
I got it.
Mom, I can watch one YouTube video before bed. The YouTube video.
Oh my god.
Oh, but yeah, I mean, it's interesting. Just
Why we have these here, just in case.
Yeah,
Just
exactly.
in case the 1 hour marker.
just in case, right at the 1 hour. Well, I think we were about to like reach the 1 hour mark. So
Yeah.
hopefully you put on this episode if missile cry, if you're getting like an alert or something like
A
that.
false missile.
A false missile.
God, that must be terrifying.
I wonder if
Fuck.
it would ever come back to bite, if it ever did happen again in Hawaii, there was a missile alert. But it was actually legit. If people didn't believe it. So they'd be like,
yeah,
oh,
true.
no, it happened once. It was a scam.
Unfortunately, being,
It's like, nice try, government.
yeah. Unfortunately, being on an island is probably one of the worst places you could be during a missile alert because you're kind of like,
Yeah.
well,
Well, it's not even like if you had an hour anyway, even if you were on mainland and it was coming for you, if there's any meaningful direction you could get to in an hour.
yeah.
Yeah, exactly.
Like that's like 2 blocks in New York City. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
Like, You
yeah.
can barely get out of New York in an hour. You know what I mean? So it's the same with Tokyo.
You can barely get out without a crisis happening.
And
Yeah.
let's say even if you were in a metropolitan area or in a city or whatever, if there was a missile alert in a city, you're not getting out of the city because everyone's trying
Exactly.
to do that.
Yeah.
Like everyone's going to try and leave.
Yeah.
So obviously, we saw that with COVID. Everyone tried to leave when
Yeah.
certain cities were being locked down.
Yeah,
right? So
yeah.
it's just like, we see that even at some things like this, that the infrastructure just crumbles when this many people want to use it.
yeah.
Jeez.
Yeah, it's like I think, would I be that guy who panics and runs, or would I just be the guy who accepts my fate? I think I'll be the guy who accepts my fate.
Yeah, you for sure would.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm like, I've lived a good life, guys.
You would go to the wine fridge, pop one open, and just look outside the window, dude. And you would just
Swivel
enjoy
the
it.
wine.
And to be fair, I'd join you.
Yeah,
that
Fuck
sounds
yeah.
nice.
I'd
Yeah.
like probably go on my rooftop or something like that.
I knew it. Yeah.
And just like swirl like my last glass of wine or something like that and just be like, fuck
not,
yeah.
man? Why
It's-
not?
It's a beautiful day.
That one good bottle you've been saving for the
Yeah.
right occasion.
Yeah.
Why not, man?
Especially if you're in fucking Hawaii. Imagine how zen people must have felt in the
yeah.
climate, you know? It feels, I can't imagine how depressing it would be in fucking England with like the rain coming down. It'd be like,
no, that's a fitting end. That's a fitting end.
that's like the,
Everyone just like conglomerates to the pub and it's just like, lads, it was a good one.
bro, that would happen in
That
England.
would happen in
Everyone
England.
would go to the nearest fucking pub and
Yeah.
get their last pint in.
Yeah,
And
absolutely.
ironically,
Wouldn't be a bad way to go out.
yeah.
Cracking a cold
What
one
if
with the
you
boys.
What if you had 1 week?
I would have had 1 week.
One
week
week.
to live. What are you doing?
Oh.
And let's say that not everyone has 1 week. It's just you.
Just me.
So everything is available and everything is normal.
Right.
So like, you could get on a plane, you could do all this stuff, but no fast travel, obviously.
No fast
It's
travel.
Literally just within the like bounds of what you can do now. And money isn't an issue.
Okay. Well, first, obviously, you got to visit your.
Yeah,
friends and
I would go
family.
to my family first of all, obviously.
That would take like a few days off
Yeah.
my schedule.
Boom, 3 days gone.
3 days gone?
Back
Off
to
your
England.
schedule.
3 days
Are
off
you
my
staying in
schedule.
England the whole time?
Sorry?
Or what's the run? You got to optimize this.
Am I staying in England the whole time?
It takes a day just to get to England. It's a lot of time.
I would probably
I feel
like
I'd want the family to come to me. Maybe I'm jealous. Maybe I'm being pedantic, but I'm like, hey, I'm the one with the.
I think
day
what
to
I
live.
would want
You know
is
what I
to
mean?
go somewhere that's always been like at the top of my bucket list and then go with my family and then just be like, I did it. I made it to the place I've always wanted to go.
Mm-hmm.
I'm with the people that I care about. I'm in this beautiful place I've always wanted to go.
Yeah.
I'm good.
You know what I do? I would record a bunch of YouTube videos that I would set to be public, like 1, 5, 10 years
That'd be
after my
hype.
death.
Yeah, that'd be cool.
That's what I would do.
That'd be
actually.
high. That'd be high.
I'd be like, guys, it's I would have been like 32 years old. I don't know. I would have been like 35 years old now. How's it going on YouTube? Is it
Until
still
the very end, this man is a YouTuber through and through.
Is this site still active? I don't know.
Oh my god, yeah.
It's genius content as well.
Oh fuck yeah.
Mr.
That
Beast
is
paid himself dividends with that idea.
Oh my God,
Giving
yeah.
us the 1 year and then 5 years. 10
Yeah.
years. That's genius. We should do that.
Yeah.
Yeah, not
Well,
to like
Mr.
start.
Beast did that, didn't he?
Yeah,
yeah,
He,
yeah.
he
Uploaded the video that would go public, on
Yeah.
X State. Really
yeah,
interesting.
it's a certain amount of years. Have you ever thought about like kind of documenting? Because there's been these kind of people who like taking a picture like every day of their life, for example, something for like
Yeah.
a year. suppose we do document our lives, so that's kind of
Yeah,
like a
we're
null point.
already on camera.
Fuck,
you
I
know
just,
what I mean?
that was a stupid question.
We literally have thousands of hours of us.
Our lives are too documented.
I'm starting to get to the point where I have no memory of filming some videos. I have no memory of a good chunk of videos. I do not remember filming them, how the process was at all.
No.
And now I completely understand why these people who've been creating their entire life are like, I have no fucking memory of making that thing. Because I get it. Like my YouTube videos from like 6 years ago. If you told me, do I have any memory of making that? No memory. No memory.
Not at all.
I've made so many.
But even not just like memories, like it gets harder to remember some like just normal days of your life. You know, even if you ask me, hey, what did you do last Wednesday? You'd really have to like think back to it, right?
I don't actually know what I did last Wednesday.
Yeah. What did you do last Wednesday?
What was the date?
I
was on a plane.
Yeah.
I was still sick.
I was dying.
Yeah,
I was dying.
Because and that's just like last week, you know. You think you'd remember what you did last week in good detail, but then go back. Like, what did you do? What did you do 2 birthdays ago? What was your birthday celebration? And then you go back even further, and you just realize how little of your life you fucking remember. And it's one of the reasons, even though like I don't take many photos. I've never been a guy who has taken photos, and it's kind of like I kind of realized how much it's bitten me in the back now. Just there is so many like there's been a lot of trips that I've not kind of, let's say, documented or taken a lot of photos of, except for maybe one photo on my phone.
Yeah.
And I've just completely, I have nothing that to remind me of that trip. You know, I have nothing to remind me of that memory because I thought, I had this like, I thought before it's just like, if the trip's good, the memories are all here, baby. I got the memories stored up in here, baby. That's what makes it special. And I'm like, fuck. Nah, that was a fucking lie.
That's copium.
Dementia be like, allow me to introduce myself.
Like, I'm sure if the trip is special enough for the boys, I'm never gonna forget it.
I don't even remember half the shit that happened on tour. Like straight up.
Nor did I.
I don't remember half the
Yeah.
days. Like I think I don't even remember every venue.
God, if we didn't fucking film it, I wouldn't remember half the shit we did on our road trip special.
Yeah.
You know? It's just, I remember watching that cut of the road trip special and being like, did you have that
did do that.
moment?
Yeah.
Where you're like, we did
Like,
do
I
that.
did say that.
I completely forgot that we spent an entire day in like a German town racing go-karts and shit like that until I saw it in the special.
Oh my god, yeah, I had that. When I first saw that draft, I was like, oh yeah, we did go here.
I remember that because I remember like trying to ram you off the road.
Oh yeah, that's right. I completely forgot about like the swan boat though.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, right? Like it's like we were on that
Yeah.
for like 20 minutes at least, 20, 30 minutes.
Yeah.
Oh, the bread was good though.
The
bread
bread
was good.
Bread was good. They did.
But
fresh
no, like,
bread.
and I guess that's why, you know, I'm kind of glad that I've gotten more into the habit of just like taking photos, because it's like, even if it might not seem important now,
Yeah.
that's shit you look back 5-10 years from now and be like, oh yeah, you know, that wasn't important or anything like that. It wasn't an important event or a special place or anything, but just seeing that is like, yeah, that was nice.
But also sometimes you get photos of maybe bad times and you're like, fuck, I hate that.
Well, I mean, those times, you know, you could just be like, well, you know, it happened.
Delete.
Yeah, you just delete it. Exactly.
Yeah, because I've always like never felt the need to take photos because I'm like, everyone around me takes photos and they upload it to Facebook. But hey, surprise, surprise, no one uses Facebook anymore if you're like our age. So I'm like, well, shit, if other people takes photos and don't post it.
Fucking parents on Facebook now. Sorry, I just remember maybe thinking the people who use Facebook are parents.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm so glad my
Isn't that
parents.
funny how that happened?
Like,
Facebook used to be this like hip, cool thing, and now it's the thing that.
Well, you're just showing its age.
Yeah. I think that Facebook has become the platform that your parents use and you use to keep in touch with your older generation of parents and stuff like that.
I'm glad my parents aren't on social media. I'm so glad.
I'm also
so glad.
Really, really glad. Holy shit.
I'm glad I blocked my dad on social media.
I thought your dad blocked you. No, you blocked him.
No, I blocked him.
Yeah, I look back and I'm like, yep. You know, back then I was annoyed that they didn't understand social media, and now I'm like, thank God my parents aren't on Facebook, aren't on Twitter, aren't posting shit.
Yeah.
I don't want to see them. But I guess my kid will be like, why has my dad always been on social media his whole life?
It's like everyone at school knows everything about
Why
my
is there a
dad.
video of my dad hitting the dab when he's 20? Why does dad have hair?
Oh, it's gonna be it's gonna be so fucking weird. When because like have you seen like pictures of your parents and stuff like that when they were young?
Yeah.
And stuff.
Yeah, I love that Vsauce video of why do your parents even look old in their younger pictures?
Yeah.
It's true.
I haven't seen that one. What's
Well,
that
think
one
about it. Like when you see pictures of your parents when they're young, they look old still, right? They look old even when they're like 20.
Or when you look at pictures of like
1960s.
what was like high school kids in the 70s.
They look old.
They look older for some reason than high school kids today.
Think about it.
And it's
Do they?
yeah,
Yes.
and it's this weird like cycle. I mean, obviously there's a Vsauce video about it, but like
Yeah,
there's
let
this
me
like
show you
weird
pictures.
psychological trick that happens of like because it's from a older time,
Yeah.
you initially condition yourself to look at that and be like, that is an older person from before, but they still look older because your only image of that is this thing is old.
But like also what I find what I'm going to find interesting going forward is that the world was just never as well documented as it is now.
Don't they look older? That's high school. They don't look like high schoolers, right?
Yeah.
Like this dude,
I
this
mean-
dude doesn't look like a high schooler. Like they
I
just
think
don't.
I think it looks old just because of the aesthetic, right?
Well, then for sure, that's what he was just saying.
Yeah, but that's what I'm saying.
Okay.
Yeah,
No,
yeah.
then I get it. Because I look back, right? I think back and I see photos like that. And it just feels old because I can't imagine living in that time zone because you have like the fucking sepia filter. Everyone looks...
Sepia, you mean?
Sepia, sorry.
Sepia.
It looks like it's gone through like a sepia filter. Everyone looks different. The haircut's different. And I can't imagine it being in like 4K HD. You know what I mean?
Right.
Like I can't imagine looking around and being like, oh, this is what it looks like in normal colors in 4K HD and shit like that.
Right.
Which is why when I see like, have you ever seen like old videos that have been remastered with like modern colors? That freaks me out so much, man.
Oh, it's like that. There's videos where it's like someone filmed like Japan in like 1910.
Yes, I've seen that
And
video.
then they just
But it's
added color to
4K,
it.
recolored, remastered,
Pretty
everything.
cool.
It's cool and it freaks me out because I'm
And
like,
people are
this-
freaked out because like, what the fuck is that thing?
Yeah,
What's
I'm like-
that camera?
Because you look at this video of like, I think there's like one of like Kyoto in like the
Yeah.
1890s or something.
Yeah.
And it's just weird to think like, oh, every single person in this video is not here anymore.
Yeah.
And that's like terrifying. It's so weird to think about.
Don't say that.
Yeah,
Joe.
it's so-
Their
it's like-
their characters. Okay, they didn't exist.
They're
They're
NPCs.
They're history. They're all NPCs.
They're all
okay?
NPCs.
Everyone is a history NPC that only exists in the fucking books. Okay.
Yeah, it's so like, it's just so fascinating.
Well, I had that thought with like World War II, right? Like
Yeah.
growing up. Oh yeah, you had like grandparents and stuff in there. And then now it's slowly getting to the point where like in a few years or, you know, in like 10 something years, whatever, it's like there's going to be so little World War II survivors. And within like 20, 30 years, there'll be no World War II survivors. And that's weird to think about. Like growing up, you'd always see them on like TV and they would talk about it and you're like, this is like a thing.
Yeah.
And then now there's nobody who remembers it. Nobody who was there.
Yeah.
Nobody who can recount that time period.
Yeah.
Like this extremely important historical event when nobody was alive for it.
Yeah.
Like that's so weird going from having people alive to it to then not having people alive. Like, especially in our time, right? Because obviously we can speculate what the Romans were like and stuff, but no one in our time knows anyone who was ever alive during that. You know what I mean? And
Like,
it's weird thinking it's like going to that direction.
And it's like, you know, I always find that there's this disconnect with history, right? Where you know it happened. You know that these people existed, but they also just kind of feel like characters in a book or something.
That's why it's also cool having this much documentation, right? Because like, I think the older the history is, the more scarce options we have to figure out how it was, right?
So we have to like fill in the pieces ourselves.
For sure.
But like what I find interesting is that I have this image of my parents when they were like younger, right? And I have like stories that I've heard from like uncles and aunties and some old pictures. But at the end of the day, it's still just an image of what they were like. I don't actually know what they were like, you know. Our kids are gonna our kids are gonna have like every single they're gonna have like every argument we've had about bone-in chicken, and like if my kid doesn't like chicken wings, he's gonna fucking know why.
It's like, oh, my dad's stupid as fuck.
How old is your grandma?
My
Grandma's really old, right?
No, my grandma on my dad's side is around 97.
Okay, this is a weird thought, right? Your grandma that is 97 is like in age-wise is closer to like the Victorian era than like today, like from the moment she was born, right? Isn't that weird to think that Victorian era that we think of that really quirky time? Like
quirky. I don't know if I call it that.
Fucking weird, where they were doing weird shit. They were putting like asbestos in their wall, putting lead paint and everything. It's like, you know, it's just weird to think there are people who are alive today, who are old, who are closer to these really far off periods in history that we think is far off because we're born now. And we think 150 years ago, that's crazy. You know what I mean? Like also there was a great video where it was like in like 1960s or 50s. I think there was this woman who was like 90. And she was recounting stories of the Victorian period. Because obviously at that time, it was still, you know, it was still around.
Yeah,
it was still a thing, right?
Yeah.
Weird. It's just so strange.
Jeez. That's scary
There's
to think
videos
about.
of these people talking about those times. So strange.
Yeah, and it's weird, like, you know, going back to like ancient history, it's weird to think we can't really process in our minds just how old like ancient Egypt was, you know, because you get to a point in history and you think, oh, it's all like around the same period. It's all like Roman history, Greek history, ancient Egyptian history. It's all the same because it's all history, but like isn't it like the ancient Egyptians were as old to the Romans as the Romans are to us?
Yeah,
something along those lines. Like some great civilization.
It's easy to make it feel like it's all one blur.
Yeah.
And when you actually look at the time between, you're like, whoa.
Yeah.
I think, because I think I saw something similar where it's like, it was a lot like that, but like, say with like the dinosaurs, right? Of like, I think it's something like, in our heads, we think like Tyrannosaurus Rex and Stegosaurus are just like, they were around the same time. Like it's you know, it's all during the dinosaur era.
Yeah.
But in actuality, I think between the Stegosaurus and the Tyrannosaurus Rex, there's like 400 million years.
Oh no, humanity is a fucking footnote compared to how long the dinosaurs ruled the world, man.
But it's just so crazy to think that it's like, they're the same thing. They're around the same time. Like, and it's just not even close.
Like we like to think that we're better. Like, look at these dumb animals that got wiped out by fucking meteor. Bro, we've barely lived the amount of like have lived a fraction of the time they have ruled the earth.
Yeah.
And then all it took was like one fucking day and they're like gone, you know? It's
because they didn't get an alert.
We also wiped out. We wiped out more of us than anyone else. All right. No meteor can take that away from us. We killed way more of us than that fucking dumb meteor ever would have. All right.
We're flexing on the meteorite. Like,
we are the best at killing us.
Yeah.
Without doubt. No one is better than us.
That's why we're smart, just to fucking kill us.
However, if the ants decided to have an uprising, we would be fucked.
Oh, absolutely. Absolutely.
If the ants had decided they have had enough of being in the ground.
If the insect world decided to start a coup d'etat one day, like they can overtake us in a day.
God, that just fucking remind me. Do you know something weird I've been doing in the holidays?
Are you collecting ants?
I haven't been collecting ants.
Okay, that's
Thank
good.
God.
I would have been. I do not want you to get it.
I'm not Malin. Don't worry about that.
Please do not start collecting ants.
I've been reading a book.
What?
Like
in 2023?
Like a book. Like
wow.
Words. Like not even like a light novel. Like a heavy. Heavy.
Like no pictures.
Like no pictures.
Wow.
It's just a heavy novel. So I've been reading this sci-fi novel called Children of Time.
I think I've heard of this book.
Maybe you have, maybe you haven't. I don't know. I just
wait, no, you haven't. You don't read.
I don't read, but I hear about people talking about it.
Oh, okay.
I'm like, what are those funny things?
Yeah, I mean, it's.
I've heard of a book before.
What are those?
It's like
I've read about a book once.
Yeah, it's a fascinating read because I heard something about the book that kind of like piqued my curiosity because it explores the idea of like what aliens actually are and what's evolution actually is, right? So the premise of this book, right, is humanity.
At the beginning of like a flat Earth conspiracy theory.
Yeah.
What is evolution? Let's break it down.
Let's break it down. So it poses this question. So the book is set in like the far future where humanity is like an advanced race or something like that. And there's this one person who just goes, let's do an epic experiment. Let's try and give monkeys this virus that speeds up evolution, put them on a planet and see what happens.
Okay.
And then eventually when they become as smart as us, I will come down and be their new god, right?
Okay.
But unfortunately, sorry, Connor, the plan goes wrong. All the monkeys dies. But what happens instead is that spiders instead get infected by this virus, right? That just kind of like just speeds up evolution and speeds up evolution and knowledge, basically, like that. So what happens is it follows.
Why spiders? Fuck, man, that's like the worst people to get advanced.
But that's why spiders, because when we think of what is alien to us, like what is more alien to us and ununderstandable than spiders? And it's fascinating to think. For one, it cemented the realization that if aliens exist, there's no fucking way we'd be able to communicate with them or have any resemblance to us whatsoever. Because it really it follows this spider civilization that emerges from I guess their Stone Age to their modern age, right? And it shows how different basically everything in their civilization would be from human civilization, just based on what spiders are. So a great example of this is midway through the book, slight spoilers, but it's only a small scene. Midway through the book, one of the advanced humans crash land on this planet, right? And the spiders kind of they take this human in and they start studying this human. And they come to the conclusion that humans must be fucking dumb, man, because there's no way that it can communicate.
Right.
Because the way spiders communicate is they don't have ears; they communicate through vibrations.
Yeah.
So they form this communication system with vibrations through their webs to communicate complex ideas to each other. And this human who is barking voice sound vibrations to them, they're like, nah, there's no way any animal would use sound as a vibration medium.
As a
that's
method,
dumb.
yeah.
Why would people do that?
Yeah.
And there's no way that any animal would evolve an orifice that they use to communicate and also ingest food. That just seems suboptimal. Why would any animals do that? And the spiders come to the conclusion that humans are these dumb animals that have not reached evolution and everything like that. And it just, there's so much about this book that opens your mind and makes you rethink what is it about our society and our civilization that is based on us basically coming from fucking monkeys and everything like that. So basically, if ants do decide to do an uprising, it's probably going to be a different kind of fucking uprising than anything that we can fucking imagine and everything like that. I don't know how we got on.
I think it's easy to think that evolution just stops because you're everything. I get it now. I understand how every animal is and how we are, but obviously it's been going on for millions of years and it'll probably keep on going.
Yeah.
Maybe we'll get fucking tails. That'd be sick.
We might grow another arm. Who knows?
Maybe I'll get a big dick. What?
Yeah. Yeah. Who knows where humanity is going to be in millions and millions of years?
Probably not around.
If we live as long as the dinosaurs, that would be pretty interesting.
I'd like to think the spiders are watching me and they're like, "What is he doing?" And it's just me watching poo-poo, stinky.
It's damn, humans are dumb.
This must be a complicated human ritual where they, stinky.
Yeah, it's just like that meme where it's just people look back on the memes and they try to study fucking lolcat images or something. This must have been some ancient religious text or something like that. Do you think that actually happened with the ancient Egyptians?
We've done that with our own. Yeah, we've done that. I swear there've been studied cases where we thought it was something and we were so wrong multiple times because obviously you get more information and the world's become more connected and it's a lot of information that we had in English was based off wrong accounts and also sources that weren't really great and so now we can translate and stuff, so it's much better now.
Yeah.
Not that we're doing great now.
Could you imagine if some archaeologist was just studying ancient Egyptian hieroglyphs and being we still haven't uncovered what this meaningful message must be because they left it on this wall, and then you go back 4,000 years and this Egyptian is just boop boop beep beep. I'm just some lorem ipsum shit, just filling in the blanks.
Our world gets abandoned. They're what are these strange golden M signs they've put everywhere? They seem to be everywhere.
There must be the cult of M.
They seem to be in every place in mass. It seems odd. What is this? Perhaps just a ritual, or
must have been some ancient religion.
It must have been a really crucial part to the human's existence. You know what I mean? We found more golden M's lying around. What could it mean?
There's so many of them. What could it mean?
There's so many in this one continent, America. There seems to be a density of these golden M's.
Oh my god.
Oh man, it's yeah, it would be interesting to think.
That sounds like a fucking sick book, though.
Yeah.
They should make that into an anime. Then I'll. Okay.
Honestly, it's like if you like me,
Kind of sounds like Terraformers, but less anime. Because like Terraformers, if it was smart.
Yeah, it's Terraformers. If it like, there's so many interesting ideas. Like eventually, the spiders learn how to make computers. But they learn how to make computers via programming, like ant programming, like programming ants.
Oh, that's fucking sick.
Which I'm just like, I never thought about it like that. But if you could learn to program ants via, because ants have like real ants have a set of programming, right? It's, you think about a normal ant and they're stupid as fuck, but somehow ant colonies, if you study ant colonies, they're able to do some fucking incrable things.
Well,
So
dumb individuals smart together.
So what you're
smart
saying
together.
is we should make ant AI.
Basically,
That's the next AI, boys.
Yeah.
Someone's going to program
all you
that.
need to do
It wouldn't
is,
be artificial. It'd be real intelligence.
Yeah, would it be real intelligence?
RI?
Or would it be real intelligence?
No, AI stands for ant intelligence.
Yeah, because when the ants see what we did to them, they're gonna be pissed. When they see all these TikToks, people owning them, bro, it's over, dude. It's over.
Oh my god.
It's like, I'm sorry, Malin. This she's the
Yeah,
first
yeah,
one.
she's
to
the
go,
first
man.
thing. They're coming for her.
It's already like all the pesticides, right? They already evolved to kind of be beyond it, and we're constantly chasing the next one. It's like we say we'll get to the point where using this pesticide is just not feasible because it's so dangerous to us.
Yeah. Well, if you think about it, so many like modern inventions and everything are based on nature itself because nature has figured out how to do this.
Yeah, man.
Yeah.
So they try and make like the smart machines, like engineering systems where they're based on like real life structures, because you know like where they try and make these like kind of RC planes that are based more off like wing structure, like birds.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah,
You know, obviously over evolution they've evolved a way that works best.
Yeah.
Because one day some dude looked up at the sky, saw a bird flying, and went, "I want to do that."
Yeah, it's like, how do you like?
That's how it started.
Yeah, makes you wonder, like, would planes be any different today if birds just didn't exist, right? So we just don't have that frame of reference.
If there just wasn't an animal that could fly.
Because it's the way that like a plane works is very different to. Well, I guess. Well,
they have wings, right?
Well, yeah. I mean, it's. I guess what part of engineering you care about. I mean, because it's like we just stuck a fucking explosion on there because we couldn't figure out how to do it in a way that works the way that they do it. So we had to strap fucking jet fuel that it burns. You know what I mean?
But like the Wright brothers didn't have that, right? They
steam, I think. No,
was it steam?
Oh no, diesel. No, it must have been. No, it was diesel. Sorry. Of course, it was probably a diesel engine.
Yeah.
Kai, look it up.
Yeah.
It's probably a diesel engine, right?
We're getting to the point of trash taste where we're just kind of like spewing bullshit over the bare
because
basic.
it was like they had a compact and lightweight enough system that made it so that you could power that, right? And all you have to do is make an aerofoil, which is basically just something that just catches the most drag.
Yeah.
And then you just fucking power it forward.
Gasoline powered.
You know.
All right.
Yeah.
You know, but
Small explosions all the way.
Yeah.
Humanity since the beginning, boom. That's all.
Yeah.
That's all we love. Everything.
They saw an explosion, they saw momentum, and they went, "What if we just attach that to something with some
like
wings?"
that's how you
That's
if you
how
want to
you
make a lightweight system now. It is getting closer and closer in a sense to either the amount of power we can generate and the size of electricity needs to improve a lot, or you kind of get it closer to, I suppose you can get like a bird wing and you can maybe get it more perfect in the sense that, but it depends what you want to do, because birds can't birds a lot of the time don't just flap in place, right? Like if you want a drone, just stop. Birds don't do that.
I mean, besides
But
hummingbirds.
hummingbirds do.
Yeah, right. But then how do you like generate that?
Yeah,
Like, how do you copy
certain
that?
dragonflies and stuff.
Dragonflies are the best flyers in like nature.
Holy shit! Like sometimes I see a dragonfly fly maneuver and it's insane.
Yeah.
You just reminded me. Like
I
as
mean,
a
they
kid,
mate mid-flight.
yeah.
I'm like, that's epic.
Like it literally. Now that I think about it, I remember as a kid thinking like dragonfly flights patterns look like they're pre-programmed.
Yeah.
You know, where it's just like, literally, like, fuck. That's incredible. Yeah.
Depends, I guess, depending on what kind of plane you'd want to make, what it would need to do, you'd pick the airfoil, right, for it, and the kind of base. I guess you could. There's nothing saying you couldn't make a Dragonfly-esque system. I think you just need it all to be balanced, and you'd need a way to power that much force.
Yeah.
Also, that'd be a lot of G's. I think if you're whipping around that fast.
Don't dragonflies go through like the most G force or something of any animal or something? I think I remember seeing something like that.
Going from static to boom.
Yeah.
That's a lot.
That's a lot.
Yeah.
We're not good at that. Well, obviously, because we've got fucking legs.
We're heavy. Dragonflies are fucking light as shit.
Yeah. But also, often a lot of the times, like birds and like a lot of the times their skulls kind of evolve to do certain things. Like woodpeckers, they just wrap their tongue around their brain to absorb it. You know that?
What? Are you serious?
Yeah, their tongue wraps around their brain.
That's
I'm telling you, Google this shit.
That's crazy.
Could you
imagine if we learned how to do that?
Hummingbird.
If you like got into a car crash and you're just like, hold on, I'm gonna save myself from getting an aneurysm.
That legit.
Yeah, look at this. Look at the diagram. The tongue wraps around the brain.
Whoa, that's epic.
So like kind of give some kind give some kind of cushion to their brain. Because like they just
like
nature just figures it out.
Hentai like concept. You know what I mean? That's
what is that? Okay, explain that concept to me. Let's break it down. We'll fund it right now. Tell me the plot. What's the plot?
I don't fucking know. I'll Shindo L, man.
Yeah.
He could write something.
Yeah, Shindo can write
that's something new, man.
AI can't come up with that shit.
Yo, we've fucked up humanity. We've trained an AI to like come up with shit like that.
With brain wrapped tonguing.
Brain wrapped.
Oh my god.
Yeah.
Makes
I'm
me
thinking of all different types of planes now.
It makes me wonder how did the invention of like the helicopter, how did that get like?
Dude, that's actually a fucking sick history. Because the guy who made it is a fucking psychopath. He just was like,
you have to be like, I look at the helicopter.
He was like determined to die. Like if you look at the history of like the models of how he made it, I swear one of the dudes who was trying to make it was like actually insane.
Yeah.
Like it crashed so many times,
right?
But he just kept trying to make more because he was like dead set on it. It's also like a genius invention, really.
Yeah.
I mean, I fully believe that because I look at a helicopter and you're just like, that shouldn't fly. I know modern technology.
We're living in a simulation.
As a kid, I always thought helicopters were way cooler than planes. I was a helicopter gang all the way.
Wait,
I was team helicopter.
That's because it's
as a
just
kid,
rarer.
do you not have this? Like you just like when I saw like a battle helicopter, I was like, damn, that fucking.
But I think that's just purely based on the fact that like you don't see helicopters as often as planes.
Yeah, true. And all the helicopters you see are kind of lame. They're all kind of like, normal ones. But then when you see the ones with guns on, you're like, whoa. Something in your boy brain, you're like, oh, that's cool. Jets, I think, look lame.
I think it's also just the idea of a helicopter. Let's spin this thing so fucking fast that we can fly. Sick. As a kid, I'm just like, yo,
not just fly, but stay in place.
just stay in the air. Yeah. Planes, you're just like, it's got a fucking engine to like make it go pew pew pew. I don't fucking care about that. Let's try spinning some fucking blades to get you up in the air. That's metal as fuck, man.
Yeah, that's badass.
Yeah. Which makes it all the more funny when have you seen those videos where you see like the helicopter like taking off, but like the frame rate of the camera shutter speed is exactly
so it just looks like it's staying still. It's just like so it's like someone just turned gravity off.
Yeah, it just looks like it's suspended in the air and just like going up.
The first person to discover that is a genius.
Yeah, right. Looks like a fucking Looney Tunes skit.
They're probably looking through the camera and they're like, what the fuck?
Well, I mean, it happens a lot natural. Like, so when we're filming now, right? Like, obviously, a lot of light flickers.
Yeah.
If you're in Japan, depending on which side you're on, it's either flickering 50 times a second or
60.
Yeah, right. And obviously, it's not actually like fully going on and off, but it's and certain times on camera, you set the hertz. If you set the shutter speed to the wrong thing, or you have it on maybe a different anti-flicker mode, you'll see it like the waves. Appearing on the
sometimes
thing.
you can even actually seeing like flickering slightly.
You see it pretty fucking bad. I've got a lot of video footage where it's happened, and you're like, God damn, it's fucking unusable because it's fucking flickering.
Yeah, well, there's a lot that the human senses can't take in. There's so many like spectrums of light and everything like that. Imagine if you could see fucking infrared and gamma
That's
rays.
fucking sick. Like I love the the Mantis shrimp.
Yeah.
I fucking love that. That thing's cool.
That's one of my favorite. That's one of my favorite animals of all time.
Sure.
Yeah.
That's
the stories of it busting glass because it boils the air in front of it.
Yeah.
God, that's
Insane.
It literally creates almost like a nuclear explosion from
Yeah,
how fast it moves in terms of like the heat and pressure it creates. It's just like boom. It's like a sonic boom, basically.
Yeah, it's sonic booms. Yeah, it's kind of crazy that like fish could evolve to that. I wish we fucking evolved to that.
Yeah.
We can punch so hard that you make a sonic boom.
I'm just I look at the mantis shrimp and I'm just like, fuck.
Where did we go wrong?
Yeah, where the fuck did we go wrong? You know, because like one shrimp in history saw a clam and thought the most optimal way to get inside this clam is punching the shit out of it. I'm like, that's
isn't it crazy? On paper, if I asked you, Garnt, do you want intelligence or do you want an arm that can fucking boil air? You'd be like, I would like the arm that boils air.
Yeah.
I would like to see every color, please. Are you telling me there's more colors I can't see? And then these fucking little shrimp are just on the fucking ocean floor. Yeah. And then we're the ones who evolved well. Isn't that fucking dumb? Because when I'm playing, I thought about this. When I'm playing D&D, I'm like, man, obviously I'm going to spec into like wizardry or like charisma. And I never put anything in intelligence because they always get it. No. They always get it wrong in video games. Intelligence should be way more OP in video games. Right?
Yeah. This is humanity is what happens when you try to balance out all the skill points. It's just we just average on everything compared to the animal kingdom.
We put all of our stats into intelligence. Yeah. And we can't even appreciate that.
Yeah.
We're not intelligent enough to appreciate that. You know,
we're like all our points in intelligence and the ability to throw things. That's pretty much everything we did.
Yeah.
And we're pretty good at running.
Yeah, well, I mean, compared to like a cheetah.
Well, that's the thing. A lot of animals can't
opposable thumbs. That's pretty fucking OP.
Yeah, a lot of animals can't run like marathons. They
that's true.
Just can't.
Yeah. That's
like
true.
We can run for pretty long. I mean, I can't. I didn't get that.
Some of us can.
Some of us are pretty fucking good at that. Yeah. I'll let them do it. I expect into the intelligence tree. Sorry, sorry, don't mind me.
Do you know humans have no way of sensing wetness?
No, I heard this.
Oh, I saw this. Yeah, I saw this.
We just know there's like we can tell the temperature different.
Yeah. The QI clip.
The QI clip.
Yeah,
right?
I saw that.
Yeah, I found that really interesting because I'm like, how many other things can't I sense, but I can just sense like
sense a bad take when you have it, guys. That's another thing you can't say.
Sense a dark thought before you're about to say it. We haven't built those receptors yet.
I can sense whether a fart is going to smell or not before I fart. That's
really?
Yeah, I think I'm pretty confident in it. You're like test it, bet.
Bet. What's your source?
I made it the fuck up. I feel like I just know. I just know when a fart is going to smell.
Really?
Okay. This is gonna
something
sound,
in my bowels tells me.
Do you feel like you can tell if someone's looking at you?
Yes.
Yeah.
Why do we feel like we can tell? Like I've had points where I've been like asleep or just like napping or something, and I'm like, someone's looking at me. I look up and someone is.
I think going back.
Wait, who's that someone?
That's bullshit. First of all, I think that's just coincidence.
Probably is coincidence.
I think we take a note to like again. I think we said this on previous episodes. We're like we're extremely socially focused animals.
Yeah,
and so I think that's like an evolutionary trait that's kind of been like malfunctioned a little bit. Where we're like we don't. I guess we kind of still need it, but. We don't need to be as socially accepted as we once needed to.
Yeah.
So we're very attentive to anything social for the most part. So I think when people are staring at us, we're really apparent of it. And we're really bad at even like thinking, was Garnt just staring at me? Like I feel like Garnt was just staring at me, right?
Yeah.
I feel like he was just looking in my direction. I saw it in the corner of my eye.
Or it's kind of like how we can sense.
You overthink it.
Yeah, we can kind of sense if like someone is feeling a certain way or like if a situation is uncomfortable.
That's my bullshit theory. That could be totally wrong. I'm pretty sure that's where it comes from. Is that we're very, very in tune with being socially accepted.
I mean, like
we want to know
if you ask any other animal, it's like, so can you tell if that prawn is feeling a little
fucking
uncomfortable? Then they'll be like, no, I don't give a fuck. What does that mean? Why would you need to sense that?
Oh, dogs are fucking cute though. I wonder if a dog knows. A dog knows I'm staring at it. It knows. He knows.
A dog knows.
A dog knows.
A dog knows. Yeah.
I just want to pet a dog. I just want to pet a dog now.
It always knows. It always, like, a dog can always tell. Like when you're like giving it some attention, you could be on the other side.
My dog,
boy, I'm ready for some attention.
My dog used to do that when it was just like kind of just sitting there, just like staring off into blank space. Sometimes I would just look at my dog because I'm like, you're a good boy, you're a pretty boy, and then sometimes the dog would just kind of do this like. Like look over at me, be like, what? What do you want?
every time, like I'm torn right in my head on whether I think God exists, because I'm like, okay, God makes stuff that kills children, and I'm like, that's pretty fucked up.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
But then we also have videos like dogs cuddling people who are sad, and I'm like, well, how do you explain that? Why the dog evolved to know when we're sad and it helps us? That's pretty. I feel like somebody must have helped that out. Come on.
Yeah.
We don't deserve that. Look what we've done in history. Do we really deserve that? We don't.
Maybe we should not think of God as this omnipotent being that knows everything. Maybe if there is a God in this world, they can make mistakes. And I'm just saying, like when they created the dog, that was like, this is the biggest W of my fucking life, man. I'm not going to get
my finest work.
I'm not going to get a fatter W than dogs. I'm like, whoo!
This is the only reason why we accept NTR, because dogs exist. I think we'd all be done. I think that would have been the final straw.
There needs to be an equal evil to create an equal good,
dogs
right?
has bought this omnipotent power so much time, quite frankly, and and people who are allergic, they got done dirty by the game of life.
And then fucking like God was listening to fucking Metallica one day, and I was like, fucking mantis shrimp, man. I'm gonna make one of those, man. Let's fucking do it.
There's some whack shit that has been like evolutionized. So you're like, that is interesting.
Like what?
The mantis shrimp is certainly one of them.
Yeah.
You're like, this feels like the most over-engineered evolution to a problem, right? Like, right? Like you think about it, you're like, this feels like we spec far too much for no reason.
It's like, I look at the mantis shrimp. The reason I love the mantis shrimp is I don't think it's the most optimal way to achieve what you want to achieve, which is get food.
Yeah.
But I respect the fact that you committed so hard to this one solution.
Yeah, like you look at, an animal, like a highly intelligent animal like an octopus, right? That is like, all right, it can problem solve, it can like, figure out more intelligent ways to catch its prey, like camouflage or like tricking its prey. Meanwhile, mantis shrimp is like, I punch hard, I destroy.
I like the fact that for some reason, obviously it makes sense evolutionary wise, but just owls could just fucking turn their head mostly all the way around.
Yeah.
That feels like the owl was kind of being a little lazy. All right, I'm not gonna lie. I feel like the owl could have maybe just turned around a little bit. Just all right,
It's like, no, I'm not moving my body.
Do we really need to turn on? Like, if I could turn my head all the way around, do I really need that? I feel like I don't know, man.
To be honest, if someone asked me, hey, would you want the ability to
this is very much a shower thought.
Yeah, would you want the ability to turn your head almost 360 degrees?
Yeah.
I'd be like, I don't know when I'd use it, but sure. Why not?
What I want to know is, we talk about like animals and food chain, and even if you don't like an animal or something.
We love talking about animals on this show. We've done that a lot.
We love animals, man.
Animals are fucking
animals
weird.
are sick.
Yeah, animals are sick. Having said that, is there a single redeeming quality of a mosquito? Or can we remove mosquitoes and
I'm sure something will be affected.
There be no adverse effects at all?
I think I remember seeing like some videos about that of like some like experts argue that we can, but with like a little bit of a deficit to the food chain, and then there are others that say like, no, it will just completely crumble the food chain.
If we've learned anything, we are really fucking bad at getting involved with the shit and trying to control nature. We historically have a terrible track record. Yeah, we're just pretty bad at it. I think that's kind of the sentiment. And we shouldn't do it.
We're just like, what if we just make this animal extinct? It won't fuck up the food chain, right? And the animal kingdom's like, what are you doing? Stop! I know they're delicious,
this
but
omnipotent
please.
Power is like, I made this chain very precisely and you're fucking it up.
I just want to know if there's any animal, anything that has something positive to say about mosquitoes. Or do animals hate mosquitoes?
There's probably something.
I'm sure even spiders I eat them, but I can go without them.
I can eat flies too.
I can eat flies, I can live without mosquitoes,
I don't know.
It's just,
I don't know, hard to say, man.
is there anything cooler than a mantis shrimp?
I don't think so.
I'm Googling this now. Coolest animals.
Well, there's that video of the guy who was like out fishing in a canoe, and he like he accidentally fished up a mantis shrimp, and it quickly like flicked him in the toe, like just like
he broke it,
and it broke his toe.
Yeah, I saw that,
and he's like ah, and then he like releases it back in, and like his foot is bleeding, and then later on he's like I'm in the hospital because my toe is broken. I'm like, what the fuck? That's insane.
That's pretty fucking wild.
Yeah, that's wild.
God,
I think I've evolved to just drink tea.
It's just British, isn't it?
I was on the plane back from my Christmas break, and I swear to God, it was embarrassing the amount of tea I drank. I just kept asking for more tea, and they were like, when they came around, they were like, tea? And I was like, yes, bring it. I think I drank like 15 cups of tea.
Holy fuck.
Isn't that insane?
Like, why?
Is that
because I was thirsting for some hot liquid. Hot water leaf.
Why you gotta make it sound weird?
I'm just saying, it's what I like, all right?
Honestly, ever since moving to Japan, I drink far too much green tea. I don't know. Can you drink too much green tea? Because I'm definitely drinking too much green tea.
It's got caffeine.
You actually can drink too much tea. There's some there's a few chemicals in it that are pretty bad if you drink it like all the time, all day. But like anything that's like that, right? If you ate just fucking ham, I'm sure it would be bad. If you ate just lettuce, you'd have nothing else, right? I mean, everything in moderation, generally.
Yeah. Oh yeah, I'm just like, how much tea is like too much tea, you know?
I'm definitely surpassing it. I'm pretty sure. But that's a problem for future me.
Yeah.
I feel like I'm in the now. You know, I'm trying to worry about that.
That's the video you should make 5 years from now, being like, hope the tea didn't kill you.
Sorry about that. You know how it is. You were stubborn.
You should film it while you're sipping a cup of tea. It's like, I bet you're mad.
Yeah. That's like a fault in like human evolution. We are so inadequate in we can process problems that will happen in our future, but we're so inadequate in caring about it, you know? Like,
yep, that's why global warming has been
yeah, right? I was just about to say, like, climate change activists are like, first time.
Yeah, like, hey, your body is going to deteriorate if you don't exercise and keep healthy every day and, you know, eat good, and you're like, yeah, but one more hamburger, right? One more burger.
Literally every person who smokes cigarettes is just like, yeah, I know, but that's future me to decide. I'm enjoying it right now.
The fact that it takes so much energy just to like care about it and change your life for the better. It just something's wrong with the brain.
We're creatures of habits, man. When we get in a habit, it's hard for us to kick
Clearly,
it.
we didn't put enough points into intelligence because we still haven't got past that.
We've programmed our brain to work in the best way it can, and it's got a lot of flaws.
Yeah.
You're right. I mean, I didn't program. I'm fucking lazy. That's someone else did that. I don't know. It's weird. I think we're pretty dumb though. That's one thing I do.
You think we are?
I think we're pretty fucking dumb.
We're all some pretty fucking dumb apes just floating through a rock through space.
Apes have it good. They stopped at the right time, evolution-wise. I think they're chilling.
Elaborate.
Great time. Well, they get to have all the, that orangutan got to drive that golf cart in that one video. Oh, yeah. And he didn't have to get a license. He didn't have to go to the DMV. I think he got the best part of evolution, which is like sit back, relax, eat bananas, chill out. They get to drive a golf cart.
Dude, I'm just jealous they get to flick their turds without any repercussions, man. Like,
sure.
I wish. That's
apes,
my dark soul for the
apes
week.
Too far. We should have stopped at dogs. Dogs. I
don't think we evolved from dogs.
We didn't evolve from dogs.
Doesn't matter. Evolution.
Just a world of dogs. The
evolution
council of
should
dogs.
have stopped at dogs, man.
The council of dogs.
There's nothing more pure than just a dog. I think a dog.
Would dogs, if the world was only dogs, would dogs be friendly to each other? I don't think they would. Isn't that sad? Maybe the dogs wouldn't be good boys.
Maybe the reason
you're
why
assuming every dog is a good boy, Garnt. And
maybe the reason why dogs ended up evolving as wholesome and awesome as they did is because of the filthy human.
Dogs just exist.
We tempered and it worked for once.
That was when it worked.
We did a massive W for once.
What about cats?
They already own the world. It's already
cats pull the strings from those shadows. Everyone knows this.
We already live in their world. Yeah. What do you mean?
It's since the beginning of the Egyptian age, we've worshipped fucking cats, man.
Yeah.
I wonder what it is about cats that we can't help but just gravitate towards. Since ancient times, humanity has not changed.
They're cute.
They're
That's
like
it.
cats could be like the biggest fucking assholes in the world, and humans are like, I fucking love you and I would die for you. And they are completely right.
Cats are literally the
Humans do that to other humans. Like you're a giant piece of shit, but I love you. I will never stop.
Like cats are basically the cigarettes of the animal world. They're just like, I know this thing is absolutely horrible, but goddamn, I can't stop. I can't stop.
No, I when I was at Ludwig's house, I got to stroke Coots, and that was a very cute cat.
I thought that sentence was going on.
I got the stroke.
I did get to do that too. I was lying down, and then Coots would just jump on me, and he would just want, a good cuddle. And I thought, all right, cats are the best.
I'll allow it.
I've allowed you to exist.
We have this cat in my house in England.
I remember this one.
Yeah, that's not our cat. It's our neighbor's cat.
Cat.
But it's really our cat. Okay,
It's the streets cat.
we don't know what her name is. For some reason, Sydney named her Scarlet Joe. And then that name just stuck because whenever she shouts it, the cat just comes running. So I don't know what your cat's name is. Sorry, Mrs. Neighbor, but it's Scarlet Joe now. And we've
appropriated the name.
Yeah. This she's too fucking smart, man. Because she knows. Okay, here's the thing, right? We're simple creatures. We just want to give them pets and give them love, right? They're cats. We just want to give them pets and give them love. Scarlet Joe knows the exact right amount of pets that she's willing to give before like saying, no more pets. You're not allowed anymore.
Right.
And then she knows that we fucking crave it. So like anytime we look like we're like, a bit more disinterested than usual, she goes, meow, have a pet. And we're like, fuck. Are you giving me a pet? And she just lets us pet her, and she goes, all right, enough. And I'm like, fuck, I want to pet you more now.
Dude,
I want to pet you more.
Dude, she is in full control.
Fuck. I know the worst thing is, I know she is, but I can't stop it. Okay, okay. If she wants pets, I'm going to give it to her, and God fucking damn it, like it's just.
I'm telling you, man, like cute animals are just like, they just get the pass.
She's an evil fucking being. She's evil, man. She's a manipulative, evil fucking being.
I believe it.
And you know what?
But I love her.
But I am this close to fucking abducting her from our neighbors, man.
Who needs to? She was coming to you.
Yeah, she is.
Yeah, exactly.
She is. When she knows, when we haven't been, when we've come back from like a long trip from like Japan or something like that, every first day she's always like so loving, so everything. We feel like we're back home, and then every other day after that she just goes back to normal. All right, you've had your time now. I'm just gonna sit here and just judge you.
I don't want to give you too much serotonin.
Yeah. No more serotonin for you, sir.
Oh man.
What was your cat like when you grew up? Because
Yeah, I had a few cats.
A few?
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah, when I was born, we had 2. But like my parents had 3 the whole time. Pocky and Little Guy. Mm-hmm. It was weird because it's like when you have 2 cats living in the same house, you really see the personality differences.
Right.
Because like when you just see a cat by itself, it's like, okay, you can discern maybe some like personality traits of the cat, right? From different cats that but like when it's 2 cats next to each other, it really is like night and day.
Yeah.
So like I think I don't remember a whole lot because I was really young, but like I remember like Little Guy was definitely the asshole in the family. He would do this thing where like I don't know if he had like memory problems or whatever, but like we would feed him. Right. And then literally 30 minutes later, he'd come back and be like, where the fuck's my food? And just start meowing.
I do that.
And just start meowing at my dad.
Yeah.
And my dad's like, bitch, I've just fed you. Leave me the fuck alone. And he'd just be like, no, I'm still hungry. Give me my fucking food. Meanwhile, Pocky is like out on the veranda just being like, thank you for the meal, father. That was absolutely delicious. I saw some of this stuff, bro. Let me. You can pet me now. You can come and pet me. I'm full. I'm satisfied. Come hither. Meanwhile, Little Guy's just being like, I'm still hungry. Give me my food. Where is it? And it's just, I don't know. Like, I loved both cats equally for like different things, but it's just like, it really does just show like how these animals just have like really just distinct personalities, and it's like, and it's dope, like even like when we used to have like a lot of birds as well, right? Like my parents currently own like a cockatiel right now, and like compared to the last cockatiel we had, this one is 1,000,000 times more of an asshole. But it's forgivable because it's cute. And the couple of times that it falls asleep in your hand, it's like, you know what? All the bite marks you gave me over the years, worth it for
I'll
this.
allow it.
I'll allow it.
One thing I've always wondered about birds. Why don't they just fly away?
What do you mean?
Like, what's stopping them from just flying away?
Oh, I mean, our last cockatiel flew away.
Yeah, right? I think
Yeah.
Is there a point where the bird goes, hold on a second, you can just fly and never come back?
Or actually, our first cockatiel, Ziggy, he actually flew away, but then he flew into, because, we live next to a national park.
Yeah.
He flew out, but then got confused to be like, holy shit, where am I? Because we could actually see him circling around, trying to find us. And then what he ended up doing was he just nosedived into the forest. And so my dad and I went out to actually go and find him. Hoping that he didn't fly off somewhere. Yeah. And after like a 20-minute search, we heard him. We could hear him chirping. Oh. And I looked up at this tree, and he's just like perched on top, just like looking down, be like, motherfucker, help me.
Where the fuck am I?
The fuck have you been?
If I saw the bird go, I'd be like, yeah, we're not getting that.
Yeah, so the original plan was like, my dad took off his jacket and was just like, all right, call him down, like to know that we're here. And then the moment he like lands anywhere, I'm going to put the jacket on top and like wrap him up so he doesn't like freak out and fly away somewhere. Yeah. Right? So that was the original plan. So like we're calling him down. He's like looking down being like, is it safe? Is it safe? And he flies down and he lands on the shoulder. And as soon as my dad was about to put the jacket on him, I was like, no, I don't think we should, because this motherfucker was gripping onto my shoulders like no tomorrow. It was so like, cute. It was hurting. It's just like, I am not leaving your shoulder. So what ended up happening was, it was like a 20-minute walk back to the house. Yeah. He just fucking stayed there.
Oh, that's cool.
And just didn't move. He was just like, take me home right now, please.
So like, what the normal, like, why do birds not fly away sometimes? Like, why do they just, do they ever come back if they like fly
Well,
away?
I think it depends on like how the bird was raised. So like if it was raised in captivity its entire life, then it doesn't know the concept of flying away.
Okay.
Right. But if it's say from like, you take it from like the wild, then obviously they're going to be more prone to be like, why am I in this fucking room? I'm going out there.
Do some birds like just fly away like for like a day or two and then just come back? Is it like a thing for like some birds? I have no idea how it is to own a bird as a pet.
I think for some birds, yeah. I mean, it depends obviously on how long you've like kept. Well, it's like dogs as well, right? Like some dogs run away, but then there are accounts of a couple of days later, the dog just shows up in your front porch, and it's just like, hi.
What I miss?
Yeah, what did I miss?
What Karen do this time?
Whereas like some dogs just run away and you never see them again, right? So I think it just depends on like the attachment factor of the animal.
Yeah, I guess dads do that too.
Yes.
So I guess it's not unique to birds and dogs.
Yeah. You needed an AI to stop that dog.
Yeah, I like how I'm like, oh yeah, it's just birds to do that.
Yeah, wait, no, all living creatures do that.
My dad.
Yeah, so it was really fascinating that like, that like even with birds, because I never had that concept of like birds having that idea, right? Because I was kind of the same as you when I first started owning a bird, of like, oh, we have to be careful every time we open the door because they might just fucking fly away.
Bird owners just like scout every fucking like crevice of the house to make sure the bird can't escape.
But then, there are some places where like, you could like interact with like an owl or like an eagle or like a bigger bird. Yeah. And they're not attached to anything, but they're just like chilling out, and they're just like, they could fly away at any time, but they're just like, no, you know what? I like it here. I think I'm going to stay here.
Yeah.
So it's interesting.
I've never owned a bird before. But I have seen one grow up before. This is just a really weird story that this talk has just reminded me of. So when I was living in Thailand, my house in Thailand is like over like a pond kind of thing. We have a pond next to our
big spender.
I mean, it's
stop flexing.
A pond, Garnt. Okay, we get it. You have a pond, all right?
It's Thailand, okay. Well, no, we live on like the outskirts of Bangkok, so it's like a bit more in nature. And near the rooftop and everything like that, or just on the balcony, birds would like to make nests and everything like that. And so in my office, in Thailand, I sit right next to a window that has a really, really good view of the places, of the place where birds would love to make their nests and everything like that.
All right.
And so one bird made a nest that was kind of like right next to my window, almost next to my window, right? So I saw basically that a bird had made a nest, and like I saw that, you know, she had laid some eggs and some nice birds, like some baby birds had hatched. And every day I would come down and I would see the mum feeding them. And slowly I would see them, like, you know, grow up. And I will never forget this point, because I would see them every single day. I saw these little chicks grow up and everything like that. And there's a day where I saw their first flight. Right? Well, I saw that first flight, and it was interesting for me, because I've never seen how birds just learn to fly. Yeah. Right? Initially, I just thought, okay, instinct, they just know how to fly. Nope. They that doesn't happen, actually. Yeah. And, or at least that's not what I saw. So actually, the mother helps to teach them how to fly. Right? So what happens is, here's me, like I'm sitting out my window. There's the nest is over there, and what happens is the mother flies to like it flies to my window, and it like chirps at the chicklet. It's like, come here. Yeah, I'm gonna teach you how to fly. Come on. You can do it. And initially the chick's like, all right, I can do this. Immediately does it, right? And then, I think something just clicked in his brain to be like, oh, that was scary, actually. I was in the air. And mind you, between my window and where the nest was just pond. It was just water, right? So if they fall, they're fucking drowning, right? And so the mother flies back to the nest, and she continues chirping for the chicklet to fly back to the nest. Doesn't do it. Mom, I'm not doing that again. 1 minute passes, doesn't do it. Mom flies back, flies through the nest again. Chirps again. 3 minute passes. Doesn't do it. The chicklet looks at his mum, and then after the mum chirped really loudly this one time, chicklet just stands on the edge, looks at his mum, shits himself. I'm not joking.
I get it. Can't fly on a full,
I'm not joking. I'm looking at this bird. His mum's like chirping. He shits himself. And then he takes off, and it's a low takeoff. And at this point, I'm invested in this bird, because I'm thinking to myself, if this bird falls in, I'm running out of my office and I'm diving into this pond to save this bird. I see this bird growing up. This bird ain't dying on his first flight. And what happens is he takes off, but he's too low. He's like flapping his wings, and what happens is the nest is perched up there. He hits. He hits the little balcony before the nest, and then he like panically like
tries to grab on,
and flaps his wing. I was like halfway through running out, but luckily he just got enough elevation to get his foot on the nest, and I was like, oh my fucking god, I'm so fucking proud of you, man. That's it.
That's my boy.
That's my boy right there, man. I'm fucking proud of him.
That's cute. That's a cute story.
Had to clean the bird shit off my balcony afterwards, but you know, it was worth it.
Yeah.
Shits himself. Proceeds to fly.
I just shit the fear out of myself. Could you imagine if humans could do that? It's like, I'm so scared and I don't want to do this thing. Let me just shit the fear out. It's like, all right, I'm good.
I'm empty. I'm ready to go.
Yeah. In that moment, I realized us and birds, we're not so different. When we fear shit, when we fear stuff, we want to shit ourselves.
Oh yeah.
Birds just do it.
Birds just commit.
Birds just commit, you know. They don't care. They just shit themselves if they're scared.
We say I'm shitting myself, the bird actually shits itself.
What a wholesome story. I feel what a wholesome way to end the episode as well.
Absolutely. Yes. Hey, speaking of wholesome though, look at all these lovely patrons.
Are you good?
Yeah, they're wholesome.
So
wholesome as hell because they're supporting us.
Yes. Do you own a cat? Do you own a dog? Tell us how wholesome they are, or tell us how
funny stories down.
Yeah,
evil.
give us some wholesome pet stories if you have any. We'd love to hear it. But hey, if you'd like to support the show, then make sure to go over to our Patreon, patreon.com/trashtaste. Also follow us on Twitter, send us memes on the subreddit, and if you hate our face, listen to us on Spotify. And what a wholesome episode this was.
It
wasn't a wholesome episode. It was a weird episode.
This was another weird Trash Taste episode. Also, if you were in Hawaii during the alert and you confessed to your crush, please tell us the story.
Yeah, please.
I'm genuinely curious.
Any confession.
Any confession.
Yeah.
I'm genuinely curious what the outcome of that was.
Yeah.
But that has been this week of Trash Taste. We'll see you all next time.
Bye.
Bye.